Ross will receive and defend the East goal. It is around 98, 99 degrees down on the field here at the Coliseum with smog over Los Angeles as the Bruins attempt to win their first game. And Rob Scribner, they go against one of the top teams in the Midwest, the #5 team in the nation, the Purdue Boilermakers, and we'll see the football in the air a lot tonight.
No doubt about it, Steve. In looking at the Boilermakers on the field in warm-ups, they've got some tremendous players just from athletic skills. Look at number 80, their tight end. The guy is a pro tight end. He's about 6'6". Looks like he's about 240 pounds. He looks like he runs great routes, and they talk about a great running attack to go along with their passing attack. So I think the Bruins have got their hands full.
And Herrman will have 3 wide receivers that he'll throw to. He has no favorites. He'll go to Bart Burrell, who's split end a lot. They played high school ball together at Carmel, Indiana. The man you referred to, Dave Young, the tight end. They'll also use Mike Harris and Raymond Smith at wide receiver spots. Purdue will kick off. John Siebel will do the kicking as the Bruins huddle up around the 40-yard line. Boilermakers in their gold and white. Kenny Easley and Anthony Eager will be back deep for the Bruins. A large contingent of Purdue fans are here. For UCLA, quarterback will be Rick Bayshore, the tailback Freeman McNeil. So is Sapali will be the fullback, the flanker back Willie Curran, and Michael Brandt will be the split end. At left tackle, Greg Christensen, Larry Lee will be the left guard, and here's the kickoff by Siebel. A short kick. It'll be taken by Easley 1 yard back in the end zone to the 5, the 10, the 15. Is hit and brought down on the far side of the field at the 17-yard line as Tim Snenneth, number 43 out of Merrillville, Indiana, a 200-pound sophomore, makes the tackle. So the Bruins take over at their own 17, 1st and 10. On the line for the Bruins, we mentioned Lee at left guard. Brent Boyd will be at center. John Totolo will be the right guard, the right tackle, Louis Sharp, and Tim Reitman is the tight end. Bruins come out of the huddle. The boys wide to the left. The boys goes in motion. Bayshore takes and gives to McNeil around left end over the 20, cuts back in at the 25, the 30, the 35 with a block at the 40, the 50, into Purdue territory, run out of bounds at around the 30-yard line. Greg Christensen and Gary Lee led the blocking on the play. Bill Kay makes the tackle, number 38, as he ran him out of bounds. A 50-yard gain for Freeman McNeil, who exploded for over 100 yards last week.
Well, Steve, a super play to start off with for UCLA. Freeman McNeil gets some big blocks out of Torres Sapali, Tim Reitman. He cuts back up here, makes a great cut, and that's what they say Freeman McNeil has, great quickness. And here he cuts back, blocking downfield by his offensive lineman. He's into the secondary for a big gain.
They line up in the eye. 1st and 10 for the Bruins. Bayshore hands straight ahead to McNeil, who gets inside the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage was the 32. He penetrates to about the 28-yard line. Before the middle guard, Ken Lotion, number 72 out of Richmond Heights, Ohio. A 248-pound senior brings him down. It'll be 2nd down and 6 yards to go for the Bruins. An explosive run by tailback Freeman McNeil. Willie Curran to the right. Michael Brandt to the left. Bayshore hands straight ahead to Sapalo, the fullback, who tries to go over right guard and gets down to about the 26-yard line, a pickup of 2 yards on the play.
Steve, I think this is a real key drive right off the bat for UCLA. I think if they can put Purdue in a situation where they do have some breathing room, then we can get into a close game, and it'll look like UCLA would have a chance maybe in the latter part of the game. So it's real important that they jump on top here if they can get a few points out of this drive.
Brandt goes out, Du Bois in at a receiver spot. Bayshore counting signals on 3rd down and 5 yards to go. Rick back to throw, looking, swings it out to McNeil, who is upended but maintains his balance inside the 20 and knocked out of bounds at the 11-yard line. Another fine run by McNeil after he made the reception. Two big plays by Freeman McNeil. The gain good for 15 yards before Robert Williams, the free safety, and Kevin Motz bring him down.
See, this is just great talent. Freeman McNeil here cuts back. He should be down. He makes a great cut, and he's upfield, but that's just all athletic skills. They had two men there that had shots at Freeman McNeil, was able to fake them both out and picked up a big gain for UCLA.
1st and 10 for the Bruins at the Purdue 11-yard line. Curran the far side, Brandt the near side. Zapala and McNeil the running back. Bayshore from the 11. Hands off to Edgar, who's in the ball game, and Edgar is hit for a loss of about a yard in the play. Lotion, the middle guard, made the tackle. Anthony Edgar, who came in and played well last week, has gone in the backfield. And now Curran goes out with Ronnie Du Bois in at a wide receiver spot. Loss of about a half yard. We'll call it 2nd down, 10 yards to go at the Purdue 12-yard line. In motion goes Du Bois to the left. Bayshore gives to Edgar, who is hit behind the line of scrimmage and down at about the 13-yard line. Calvin Clark, the left tackle out of Atlanta, Georgia, junior, makes the stop for Purdue.
That's a real important down for UCLA. Calvin Clark there knifing through to make a big tackle for the Purdue Boilermakers. UCLA seemingly have a drive going down and a lot of momentum on UCLA side right now.
Gary Donahue talking with his coaches upstairs. It is 3rd down, 11 yards to go for the Bruins. Reitman, the tight end. Bayshore goes back to throw. Bayshore looking, pass is incomplete. It's caught for a touchdown, a deflected pass as Brandt makes the grab, deflected by Reitman. And Michael Brandt out of San Fernando makes the grab to put the Bruins on the scoreboard. They take a 6-0 lead with 12:07 remaining in the first quarter, and the Bruin crowd comes to life over on the far side. An 83-yard drive in 7 plays to give UCLA a 6-0 lead.
Really a heads-up play, Steve, by Michael Brandt. Tim Reitman just about had the reception, and this is a key play for Rick Bayshore right here. This really makes him look good. He drops back, he lets the ball go. Tim Reitman in the end zone, just about able to get him. There's Michael Brandt right there for the reception.
Vormeister's try for point is up, and it's good. There's timeout with 12:07 left in the first quarter. The Bruins 7, Purdue nothing. Here comes the Bruins leading by a score of 7-0. Back deep for Purdue, Jimmy Smith. On the near side, the far side, Wally Jones. There's Smith in your picture, and Jones the far side. As Norm Johnson will kick off for the Bruins, who marched 83 yards in 7 plays. 2 big plays by McNeil, and then the deflected pass off Reitman taken by Michael Brandt for the touchdown. So Johnson gets ready to kick off to the Boilermakers. 12:07 remaining in the first period. Johnson with the kick, a line drive kick that'll be out of the end zone, and the Boilermakers will take over. 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. So Mark Herrman comes into quarterback, number 5, ranked Purdue. Now the look at the touchdown play coming up, Rob.
Well, Steve, it's so important here for UCLA to get these points on the board with a high-scoring team like Purdue, and it's a great play here by Michael Brandt. Tim Reitman there just about has a good pass defense by Purdue, but it's just heads-up play by Michael Brandt, and great touchdown reception for UCLA. Big play. They need those plays today.
Herrman with Jones in the backfield, along with Augustiniak. Burrow, the wide receiver, and the handoff goes to the fullback, Mike Augustiniak, and he's stacked up after about a yard. Number 39, Art Akers on the tackle for the Bruins. Since 1896, Michelob has made sports and weekends just a little more special. Weekends are made for Michelob.
Well, UCLA, I'm sure, is going to pull out all the stops here on defense. They're going to do a lot of stunning and blitzing. They got to keep that big quarterback at bay.
Smith and Harris, the wide receivers. Split back. Now Herrman hands off to Wally Jones. Jones goes around left and is brought down at the 28-yard line. Jones tackled over on the far side of the field. A lot of pursuit there for the Bruins. And Chris Elias, number 98, along with Art Akers to make the tackle. For Purdue in the backfield, the quarterback, Mark Herrman. Wally Jones, the tailback. Mike Augustiniak is the fullback, the flanker. Mike Harris, split end. Bart Burrell on the line. Henry Fell at left tackle. Dale Schwann, the left guard. Pete Quinn's the center. The right guard, Don Hall. Steve McKenzie, the right tackle. And Dave Young, the tight end. Handoff, sack up at the 30-yard line. As Jones, the tailback, was the ball carrier. And again, Art Akers, along with Mark Ferguson, number 50, in on the tackle for the Bruins. It is very close to a first down up around the 30-yard line. It was third and about a yard to go. And they fail to make it. It is fourth down and inches for Purdue.
Well, here early in the game, he's deciding to go for a fourth down play. This could be a big tide turner. Momentum could really shift right here, although UCLA has it right now. This could put it really in the hands of Purdue, which could change the game dramatically.
Purdue lines up in the eye, and the handoff goes to Augustiniak. He is stacked up at the 30-yard line. Very close to the first down. And he picks up the first down just over the 30, where Billy Don Jackson and Joe Gary combined on the stop. A first and 10 for the Boilermakers as they took the risk. Fourth and inches and pick up the first down on an early gamble here with 9:54 remaining. In the quarter, they line up in an I formation. Herrman takes, drops back to throw, looking, and the pass deflected. Ball intercepted by the Bruins. Kenny Easley came up to make the play. Free safety, Kenny Easley with the interception. A big turnover, and the Bruins will have first and 10 at the Purdue 38-yard line.
See, this real heads-up play not only by Kenny Easley. We got him isolated right here, but there's a tip action going on. UCLA has a lot of players in the area. You can see right there, Kenny Easley just going for the ball. The ball was early tipped, I think, by one of the UCLA linebackers, then Easley came over and just heads-up play.
And that is a new UCLA interception record, 14 interceptions for Kenny Easley in his third year as a Bruin. The All-American free safety with the interception. 7-0, the Bruins lead. Bayshore counting signals Du Bois in motion to the left. The handoff goes to McNeil, and McNeil is inside the 35-yard line down to about the 33 where he is brought down. Penalty flag on the play. Kevin Motz, the linebacker, the all-time Purdue leading tackler, brought him down at the 33. And they are conferring with Rick Bayshore, UCLA quarterback. And Motz up there for Purdue. Penalty going against the Bruins as they'll mark or check it. The penalty going against Purdue, and they'll put the ball back inside. An offside against Purdue. The ball at the Boilermaker 33-yard line.
That's a big interception for UCLA. Mark Herrman comes out and throws his first pass, and it's intercepted.
Getting in motion, Du Bois. The pitch goes to McNeil. A sweep to the right side. Good block by Sapali. He is hit and brought down at the 30 or 29-yard line over on the far side of the field. As Kevin Motz, the linebacker, went over to make the tackle along with strong safety Tom Seneff. Marcus Jackson also covering on the play.
UCLA is getting some good blocks out of their tight end, Tim Reitman. Larry Lee there is making a great block, and Freeman McNeil is getting some good free open running room. And when you get a quick back out there like that, he's going to pick up some big yards. Good block by Toa Sapali.
A gain of 9. It is second down and a yard to go. Handoff straight ahead to Sapali, who tries to get the first down, and it looks like he got it. Picked up a yard or two on the play. They had less than a yard to go for the first down. JoJo Townsend comes back in for the Bruins as they pick up the first down. Sapali runs the ball down to the 27-yard line. The ball just inside the 27. First and 10 for the Bruins with 8:35 left in the first quarter. In fact, we'll call it the 36 or the 26-yard line. Kurt Mall has come in. Greg Christensen out at left tackle for the Bruins. Du Bois wide left. Du Bois goes in motion to the right. The pitch. Goes on back. Hit and brought down at the line of scrimmage is McNeil, who has his jersey torn off, as Marcus Jackson out of Lima, Ohio, and Keena Turner, their outstanding right end, are there to close in on him and bring him down.
Steve, looked like that time Tom Kingsbury with UCLA getting outside the Purdue defensive end, had a stun on, came on real fast, had a semi-blitz, and was able to stop the play.
A loss of 2. It'll be 2nd and 12. Townsville to the left, Curran to the right. Edgar, the tailback, will have a flag on the play as Bayshore hands off. Looked like Purdue was offside again. Penalized earlier for offsides.
There's a second offsides penalty on Purdue, and I think it's just good cadence by Rick Bayshore. You got to give the guy a lot of credit, changing up his cadence, maybe with a real sharp pitch, and then a slow pitch, and then coming back with a real sharp pitch again, and pulling those Purdue Boilermakers offsides.
He drew the middle guard, Ken Lauschen offside. So the 5-yard penalty puts the ball down at the 23-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 7 yards to go for the Bruins, who will lead in the ball game 7-0. Bruins break out of the huddle. Center Brent Boyd over the football. Sapali and Edgar, the running back. Sapali, the fullback. Edgar, the tailback. Bayshore on a long count. Now fakes, back to throw. Has good protection, rolling to the right side. Now going to throw back to the left. The pass is complete. Touchdown. A touchdown pass as the Bruins go on top. Willie Curran makes the grab. Willie Curran from Crespi Encino. A 24-yard touchdown pass from Bayshore to make it 13-0.
Steve, you got to give a lot of credit to that offensive line. Larry Lee, Greg Christensen, John Tatalo. Here, Bayshore does an excellent job. He doesn't see anybody open. He's scrambling. He even has the opportunity to run right here. He stops, makes a great throw backside to Willie Curran, who's breaking to the outside. He's able to pick up the touchdown. It's a great play, Rick Bayshore.
He beat Tim Seneff, the strong safety. A good block from Louis Sharp on the play. Here's Bormeister to try the point after. The ball down. The kick is up. It is good. And with 7 minutes and 7 seconds left in the first quarter, it's the UCLA Bruins 14, the Purdue Boilermakers nothing. For the exclusive use of Golden West Broadcasters and its viewers, and cannot be reproduced or telecast without the express written consent of Golden West Broadcasters. 38 yards and 4 plays after the interception by Kenny Easley as Willie Curran takes the touchdown pass. Bayshore is throwing for a pair of touchdowns, and the Bruins out to a 14-0 lead. Norm Johnson will kick off. Jones, the top of your picture, in your picture right now, along with Jimmy Smith, the talented freshman tailback from Kankakee, Illinois. Bruins got out to a 9-0 lead at the half last week against Houston, only to have the Cougars come back. Here they have scored 2 touchdowns in the first 9 minutes of the ball game. And Rob, as we know, the Boilermakers can come back and put 20 on the scoreboard in a hurry with Herrman quarterbacking.
Oh, I'm sure UCLA realizes that. Purdue's got a great football team, and UCLA's had some real fortunate things happen to them here in the first quarter, and I'm sure they're on pins and needles right now, kicking the ball here to a great running back. And
Smith elects not to take it about 5 yards deep, and the ball out of the end zone again. So once more, Purdue will take over 1st and 10 at its own 20-yard line. They picked up a first down the last time they had the ball, gambling on a 4th and short yardage, and then Ken Easley with a key interception as the Bruins took over at the Purdue 38.
You know, Steve, I think momentum's such a big part of football, and it really shows here as Purdue comes into Hollywood, Los Angeles Coliseum.
Burrell is wide to the left side. Harris to the right. Man goes in motion. Handoff. Turning the 20 and hit and brought down is Johnny Macon, who's come in at fullback. Brought down by Scott Stoke. Number 44, Stoke out of Grants Pass, Oregon, makes the tackle for the Bruins. Gain on the play of about 2 or 3 yards.
Steve, great support on that play also by Brian Baggett. Came up from his corner position, recognized the run, came up, and was able to help Scott Stouch in making that tackle.
Raymond Smith goes in at split end, replacing Bart Burrell as they'll alternate the wide receivers. Harris to the right and Smith to the left. They use the tight end Dave Young lines up in the backfield, then goes in motion. The fake by Herrman. He's rolling left, looking in heavy traffic, throws, and the pass deflected out of bounds. As Art Akers got a hand on the ball and deflected it out of bounds, it was intended for Dave Young. Don't forget, Bloom does service too, breaks alignment, shocks, and tune-ups. For first-class service that keeps your car in top shape, see the experts at Mark C. Bloom. Brad Clemens has come in the lineup, replacing Chris Elias at an outside linebacker position. It is 3rd and 7. Raymond Smith to the near side. Now they shift into a shotgun. Direct snap back to Herrman. Hands fumbled. Picks the ball back up his head and brought down. A loss on the play. And in to make the hit, Billy Don Jackson, the inside linebacker. It'll be 4th and long yardage for the Boilermakers.
It's unfortunate for Purdue Boilermakers. UCLA has a stunt on, a blitz. In fact, a dog by Billy Don Jackson. We're isolating him here on this camera. And look at Billy Don Jackson's in to make the big tackle on Mark Herrman.
Joe Linville is in to punt, standing back at his 1-yard line. Ken Easley in single safety back at the 45 of the Bruins. Linville from Carmel, Indiana, same high school that Burrell and Herrman went to. The snap. The boot is off, just barely got it off. And Easley makes the catch at the 50, bobbles the ball, scrambles, it goes out of bounds. As Brian Baggett, the right cornerback, almost made the block on the play, a 39-yard punt. And the Bruins, again with excellent field position, will take over just inside the 50-yard line.
Steve, I think a lot of things are going right for the Bruins so far early in this game. We were even isolating on Billy Don Jackson. Billy Don Jackson had a dog on. It just so happened that that was the time that they had a fumble.
So the Bruins huddle up. Terry Donahue couldn't have planned it any better than this. 5 minutes and 41 seconds remaining in the first quarter, with the Bruins leading by a score of 14-0 over 5th-ranked Purdue. Purdue the favorite in the Big Ten.
Anytime you have a great passer like Mark Herrman, if he gets off to a good start, you know that UCLA could be in for a long evening. By the same token, he comes out and he throws an interception on his first pass. He gets a big rush on his second pass and isn't able to really get a good look at the defense. And that's got to be playing on his mind. Here I am, what's the Coliseum a little bit different than maybe West Lafayette? So I think that's very important consideration here early in the game.
This marks the first of 3 consecutive games against Big Ten opponents. Next week we'll be at Madison Camp Randall Stadium to face the University of Wisconsin Badgers. Wisconsin a 38-0 victor over Air Force today. And then back home 2 weeks from today to face the Ohio State Buckeyes, a 21-17 winner over Minnesota. Bayshore from the 49-yard line. Takes, gives. Straight ahead, a pickup of about 5 yards in the play. Brent Boyd leading the blocking as McNeil brought down by Kevin Motz. It'll be a gain of 4 yards in the play for Freeman McNeil. The Bruins will have 2nd and a short 6 at the Boilermaker 45-yard line. Curran, who caught the last touchdown pass, out to the left. Brandt to the right. Zapala and McNeil, the running back. Rick Bayshore on a long count. Hands to McNeil. McNeil off tackle. Is brought down inside the 40-yard line. He tripped, went down, was covered on the play after Reitman led the block. Tim Seneff pinned him from his strong safety spot. It is a first down at the Purdue 39-yard line, and the Bruins continue to march. McNeil has now gained 68 yards and 6 carries. Curran goes out, and Ronnie Du Bois comes in.
Steve, like you said before, Brent Boyd, Greg Christensen, Luis Sharp, these guys are opening some good holes, and Toa Sapali's making some big blocks for Freeman there in the backfield.
Du Bois far side, the near side. It is Brandt. A pitch goes to McNeil. McNeil tries to sweep, turns the corner, and is finally pushed out of bounds at around the 34-yard line. Sapali was leading the blocking on the play. Ken Laushin and Tim Seneff came over on the play.
You can see the defensive tackle here is really getting downfield, but UCLA is going to pick up 2 men. They're trying to get the block on them. They don't quite get outside, and this is just great pursuit on the part of Purdue.
And the middle guard, Laushin, brings him down as 6'2", 248-pound senior. He was first team All Big Ten last year. Second down, and about 5 yards to go for the Bruins. Du Bois goes in motion to the far side, and the handoff to Edgar, who's in for McNeil. He goes off right tackle down to the 31-yard line before he's brought down. Kevin Motz, who's around the football all the time, and Robert Williams out of St. Louis, Missouri, the free safety, combine on the stop. The ball close to the 30-yard line. It'll be third down and a short 2. Make your plans to be in the Los Angeles Coliseum 2 weeks from today, Saturday, September 29th at 1 o'clock, when the Bruins host Big Ten power Ohio State. The Buckeyes have won or shared 9 of the last 11 big league titles in the conference. Handoff goes to Edgar. Edgar inside the 30, very close to the first down at around the 28-yard line. He got it. A 1st and 10 for the Bruins. Anthony Edgar, out of Compton Bell High School, a 5'10", 175-pound sophomore, picks up the first down, and the Bruins have been able to march the ball against the Purdue defense. Tickets for the Ohio State game are available at the Sports Arena ticket office, Mutual Ticket Agencies, Ticketron outlets, and the UCLA Central Ticket Office. Dial UCLA 101 for all the details. That's Ohio State 2 weeks from today. Hand off to McNeil. McNeil finds some running room and gets down to about the 23-yard line before he's brought down on the play. Calvin Clark, the left tackle, makes the stop for Purdue. Clark, a big 246-pound junior out of Atlanta, Georgia. Anthony Edgar has come in, and Freeman McNeil goes out at the tailback position.
UCLA consistently running over the right side, getting a pull by Larry Lee on a trap, getting Kevin Mott locked up in there, and UCLA's been able to handle that All-American linebacker.
Second down from the 5 yards to go. The handoff to Edgar, running room, and he's down to about the 16-yard line before he's stacked up. Anthony Edgar with a block from Louis Sharp and Tautolo. And he has another first down, I believe. The ball down around the 16-yard line. Robert Williams, the free safety, made the tackle. It's another Bruin first down. 2:53 remaining in the first quarter. The ball at the 12. 1st and 10, UCLA.
UCLA's consistently been able to run over their right side in this drive.
Michael Brandt goes wide right. Ronnie Du Bois is to the left. Du Bois comes in motion, the pitch, and hit in the backfield and brought down, a loss back to the 25 as Edgar is hit on the play. As Keena Turner, their All-American candidate, outstanding right hand, a 220-pounder from Chicago, made the stop. So a loss on the play, the ball back at the 24-yard line. It'll be second down and 17 yards to go. First Bruin loss.
Purdue's definitely going to have to start doing some different things defensively. That time they brought Keena out a little bit wider and dogged him inside and was able to make the defensive play.
Edgar and Sapala, the running backs. Bayshore back to throw. Rick looking left side. Pass is complete at the 10-yard line to Michael Brandt. Brandt, the junior out of San Fernando, makes the catch at the 10-yard line. It'll be third down and about 3 yards to go. A big rush put on by Tom Kingsbury, the left end. Now Paul Hanna replaces Calvin Clark at left tackle for the Boilermakers. And they go without the free safety Williams. Stacking up there with a 5-man line, making a 6-man front. Handoff, straight ahead, taken down to about the 7-yard line as Edgar's the ball carrier. Anthony stacked up on the play. Mark Johnson, outside linebacker, in on the tackle. It is very close to a first down. Ball spotted just inside the 8-yard line, and we'll have a measurement. Bruins leading 14-0. Bayshore is 4 for 4 with 2 touchdown passes and 67 yards passing. They stretch the chains, and it'll be short, as you can see there, by about a foot. And the Bruin fans chant, "Go, go, go." It is 4th down and less than a yard. The Bruins leading 14-0.
Steve, what do you think in a situation like this? Terry Donahue seeing his offensive line coming off the ball excellent during this whole drive, and here they've got to make a few inches for a first down. He's got to feel confident at this point.
Okay, now he goes to the straight T backfield with 2 tight ends, Du Bois and Reitman. That caused him problems last week due to procedure penalties. Sapali, along with McNeil and Edgar, the running backs. Edgar at left half, McNeil at right half. And Bayshore on a quarterback sneak picks up the first down as he goes straight ahead behind Brent Boyd, his center. It'll be first and goal for the Bruins. 56 seconds remaining in the first quarter. The ball down at the 6. First and goal from the 6. Calvin Clark led the stack up. Michael Brandt back in the lineup at a wide receiver spot for the Bruins. Brent Boyd out over the football. Du Bois wide to the right. Brandt to the left. Sapali, the fullback. McNeil, the tailback. Du Bois comes in motion to the left side. Handoff goes to McNeil. Hit and goes over the 5 and went down to about the 2-yard line. He was stopped at about the 4 and crashed for a couple of more yards. Tom Kingsbury, the left end, number 15, and Mark Johnson, a linebacker, number 42, combine on the stop.
There's some great defensive plays here, as there's really no running room for Freeman McNeil. He runs in over the line. He's hit very good right there by Johansson. He spins around, but he's able to pick up 2 or 3 yards. Just enough space for a guy to get in there to pick up some yards. Great run by Freeman.
Just 2 seconds. Let's see if they can get the play off. And there is the end of the first quarter with the score. The UCLA Bruins 14, the Purdue Boilermakers nothing. Back with the second quarter after these messages. It's third and goal from inside the 1-yard line. Bayshore on a quarterback sneak in for the touchdown. The Bruins score their 3rd touchdown of the night and take a 20-0 lead. Bayshore with the touchdown on the quarterback sneak. And the Bruin fans enjoying it as they have dominated Purdue in the first 16 minutes of this football game.
UCLA taking advantage of all of their opportunities. Here, Bayshore going in for a touchdown. UCLA's had some good breaks in this game, but remember, every time they've had a break, they've gone down and scored a touchdown. Here, Rick Bayshore following Brent Boyd, who tonight is really showing why he is an All-American candidate.
Burmeister for the point after. He's 2 for 2 in the ball game. This one is up and good. There is timeout, a flag on the play. Flag dropped on the play, 14:21 remaining. The Bruin march was 14 plays for 51 yards for their 3rd touchdown of the ball game. And we have a personal foul against the Boilermakers that will point after attempt by Burmeister is good. So there is timeout on the field with 14:21 remaining in the second quarter. UCLA 21, Purdue nothing.
You'll probably.
Steve Shannon and Rob Scribner are back at the Coliseum. So the dead ball foul against Purdue, and the Boilermakers penalized 15 yards on the personal foul. That means that UCLA will kick off from the Purdue 45-yard line. Johnson has booted everything out of the end zone so far. Jimmy Smith is back deep, along with Wally Jones. Smith, number 21 in your picture, standing in the end zone. Norm Johnson to kick off for the Bruins, who lead 21-0. And I can't think of a better time to say that we'd like to pass along a big hello and best wishes for a speedy recovery to the UCLA Director of Athletics, J.D. Morgan, and I know he's enjoying this one so far. The Bruins have exploded for a 21-point lead. Here's the kick by Norm Johnson. He'll easily boot this one out of the end zone. So the Boilermakers will take over the football at their own 20 for the 3rd time in the ball game.
Like the Boilermakers' frustration is shown by that, penalty there. They're down 21 points. Like you said, the 5th team in the nation, and they're just taking their frustration out. And that's one of the things that may happen. You get down so far, you don't have a chance to get back. But with Mark Herrman, they definitely always have a chance to come back in the game.
Augustiniak is back in the backfield along with Wally Jones. And Herrman goes back to throw, trailing 21-0. Good protection, complete to Smith. Smith at the 30, hit and brought down at the 31. Raymond Smith, the split end from Paris, Kentucky. And the Boilermakers have a first down. Number 39, Art Akers on the tackle for the Bruins. Akers out of Lynn, Massachusetts.
It's just a straight drop back pass. Mark Herrman looking to his right, setting up. He's got Raymond Smith doing a little curl pattern back here on the left side. He's wide open, comes back very well for the ball.
Smith the near side, Burrow the far side. Going in motion on the play is Mike Harris. And again, Herrman back to throw. Mark with protection, throwing long. It is intended for Smith, intercepted by the Bruins. Making the interception, Phil Hubbard, the defensive captain, number 2. Hubbard comes away showing the football. An interception, and UCLA has the ball at their own 24-yard line.
UCLA's in a perfect defense for this. They're in its own defense. Hubbard's in here in the back, covering half of the field. He's just waiting for it, playing center field. Herrman lets a bad pass go here. He just lets it go too far, lays it up. Hubbard's right there, makes a great interception for UCLA.
So the Bruins take over at the 25-yard line. First and 10. It has been all UCLA. In the first 16 minutes of this football game. The lineup in the eye. Du Bois comes in motion. The handoff goes to Cannon, and he is up to the 29-yard line. Glenn Cannon out of Mount Pleasant High School in San Jose, a 184-pound senior. Ken Lauschen, the middle guard, number 72, brings him down. The ball at the 29, a pickup of 4. It'll be second down and 6 yards to go for the Bruins. Cannon the tailback, Sapali the fullback. Bayshore, long count. Now gives to Cannon. A flag on the play. Cannon goes outside left. Another flag is thrown as Cannon is run out of bounds on the far side by Wayne Smith, the left cornerback, after he got the ball up to about the 34-yard line.
No doubt about it. UCLA is doing excellent in their offensive line play. They're really getting a lot of Boilermakers on the ground. Not just blocking them and keeping them and shielding them, but they're knocking them on the ground. They're tripping them up, and they're falling over each other, and then the running backs are really picking and choosing their holes and not just running headlong up into the line of scrimmage.
A procedure penalty against the Bruins will mark the ball back to the 25-yard line. So the first procedure penalty against the Bruins. They came at costly times in the game last week, but what a difference a week has made.
Tomorrow's some Miller time.
Du Bois, near side, Brandt far side. Bayshore calling the signals and hands. The hand off to Cannon. Cannon crashes his way up to about the 30-yard line before Kevin Motz and Mark Johansson bring him down.
UCLA has really done a great job of standing up the linemen here. Keena Turner getting stood up a little bit there by Kurt Moll. He's in there to make the tackle, though. Purdue has some great football players up front defensively, and so that makes it even all the greater job that the UCLA offensive line is doing at this time.
There's third down and 5 yards to go. Throwing ball at the 30. Bayshore gives to Cannon. He is tripped up at around the 33-yard line. Gain of about 3 on the play. It'll be fourth down. And Matt McFarland will come in to punt as Kevin Motz made the tackle for Purdue. So Matt McFarland coming in the ball game for the first time to do the punting. Bruins scored in their first 3 possessions and lead 21-0. It is fourth down. 2 yards to go. The ball at the Bruin 33. Hill is back along with Speedy. Speedy the near side, Hill the far side. There is Speedy, number 1. Here's the snap, low snap. McFarland gets the kickoff under a heavy rush. A fair catch is called for and taken at the 28-yard line. A 44-yard punt as Speedy made the reception. There is timeout on the field with 11:41 remaining in the second quarter. It's UCLA 21, Purdue nothing. Steve Shannon and Rob Scribner back at the Coliseum. Boilermaker ball at their own 24. Mark Herrman their outstanding quarterback from Carmel, Indiana, a 6'5", 194-pound junior. Drops back to pass. Good protection. Looking. The pass is complete to Young, his tight end. He's hit and brought down at the 34-yard line by Brad Clemens, number 99, out of Auburn, Washington.
Mark Herrman gets great protection there and just has about 5 receivers out in the pattern, just picking and choosing. UCLA, of course, is going to have to be able to cover and pass rush.
Young goes out, and Tom Barr comes in at tight end for the Boilermakers. It is a 1st and 10. Ike Gordon's in at a linebacker spot for UCLA, number 92. And in motion, Harris out of the eye. Hand off to the tailback, Wally Jones, and Jones up to the 38-yard line before he's brought down by Ike Gordon, a 6'5", 216-pound sophomore, number 92, and 39, Art Akers. And Akers has been busy on defense tonight. Now Jimmy Smith, the freshman tailback from Kankakee, Illinois, in the ball game. Wally Jones is out.
Put it out, Arthur!
A gain of 4 on the last play. It is 2nd down and 6 for the Boilermakers. Mike Harris to the near side. Burrow far side. Herrman back to throw. Herrman looking right side. The pass is incomplete. Intended for Raymond Smith, number 81. As Lupe Sanchez covering on the play for UCLA. National Lumber, the stores with the good stuff at the right price. Pick up on National's TV specials. Your money's worth and then some. Look for it on the white pages for the National Lumber nearest you.
Learn a pass during
Lupe Sanchez there is just a freshman, so Terry Donahue has had a lot of great things to say about Lupe, and here he is out in the pattern.
Shotgun is Herrman back to throw on 3rd and 6. Excellent protection. Now has to scramble. Looking back left side. Now under a rush. Is hit. Avoids one tackler. Throws. And the pass is incomplete down the sideline. Headed for Raymond Smith over on the far side. And he made the reception over on the far side. And then brought down short of the 1st down. Mark Ferguson over covering from his nose guard position. It is 4th down and a yard to go for Purdue.
That's short and a good yard, and so Jim Young coming up with a lot of, they're taking a big chance.
Ball at the Purdue 43-yard line. And we've got flags all over the place. Morgan, the nose guard, or make it Ferguson, the nose guard, jumped off sides for the Bruins.
It's something that you coach your quarterback to do in a situation like this. You just come up there and you start barking out the signals and just keep calling hike, 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 and until the defensive team jumps off sides. If they don't, then you either call a timeout or take a 5-yard penalty and then go ahead and punt it. And Purdue, they came out there and they called their signals and just started calling hike, and we, being UCLA, jumped off sides.
Now Carl Morgan has come back in at nose guard, replacing Ferguson. The 5-yard penalty on the procedure. Play gives Purdue a 1st and 10 at their own 48-yard line. Herrman takes and gives inside to the 46-yard line of the play. A pickup of about 4 yards as Ike Gordon and Billy Don Jackson bring down Wally Jones, the sophomore tailback from Detroit, Michigan.
This kind of offense that Purdue likes to run here. They're going. Herman's dropping back to pass. He's able to hand off and pick up some big yardage on a draw play on 1st down. So this is the way Purdue wants to run the ball game. Run, pass, draw, keep UCLA not knowing what to do.
2nd down, 3 yards to go. Herrman takes, gives to his tailback. Smith slips one tackler, then is hit and brought down. Jimmy Smith brought down on the play as Akers is there covering for UCLA, along with Dave Gomer, who came up from his strong safety spot.
Purdue's had a lot to say about Jimmy Smith. And there you got a little view of him. Broke a few tackles, but can't fake out everybody on the team.
It is 3rd down, 3 yards to go for the Boilermakers. Barr goes out. Young is back in at the tight end position. Augustiniak. And Jones, the running backs, is Herrman. Rolling right, throws to Jones, complete over the 40-yard line. Run out of bounds on the far side as we have a flag. He's run out at the 35-yard line. Wally Jones, the receiver. Kenny Easley, the free safety, brings him out of bounds. And flags thrown on the play.
Purdue running just a basic flood pattern, and Wally Jones was the last man into the pattern, and Herrman hit him perfectly on stride, and he was able to pick up the first down. Unfortunately, Purdue has a penalty of clipping after the first down has already been made. And this is the kind of thing that makes the hairs on the head coach's head turn gray. He's got his first down made, and somebody comes in with a little bit of extra effort, and unfortunately, it's a clipping penalty for Purdue.
So the clipping penalty, as Herrman looks toward the sideline, Raymond Smith comes in, and Mike Harris goes out at a wide receiver spot. Terry Donahue over on the far sideline. It is 3rd down and 13 yards to go for the Boilermakers. And Herrman out of the shotgun with protection, throwing the pass complete inside the 40 at the 38-yard line to Young, the tight end. Billy Don Jackson, number 88, on the tackle. Dave Young with the reception, and it's a first down Purdue.
Big play for Purdue in the situation. Need to pick up a lot of yards for a first down. The big tight end, Young, open in the center of the field between the linebackers, Akers, and Billy Don Jackson's able to come up with a big reception with a lot of pressure from Billy Don Jackson.
Burrell near side. Smith far side. The handoff to Jimmy Smith. Smith up the middle, down to the 30-yard line. The 185-pound freshman is brought down by 92. Ike Gordon, a sophomore out of Miami, Florida, and Lynn, Massachusetts linebacker Art Akers.
Once again on first down, Purdue coming with a draw play. Jimmy Smith, the highly touted freshman, is able to break through right there, get by Brad Clemens, and be able to get some good yardage up the field before the linebackers recognize the fact that they've got a draw, and Ike Gordon comes in to make the tackle.
It is 2nd down, 3 yards to go. A gain of 7 on the last play. The handoff goes to Jones. He fumbles the football as he gets to the line of scrimmage. Wally Jones, the ball carrier, recovers his own fumble and is brought down at the 29-yard line. A gain of just about a yard, maybe a little more. Joe Gary, number 53 out of Los Angeles, Washington High School, and again Akers in on the stop. Now Morgan goes out of the lineup for UCLA along with Dave Gomer.
Purdue very careless in their quarterback, tailback operation right there. Wally Jones really didn't get a handle on the football, fumbled it. They were very fortunate to get it back.
Smith in at the wide receiver spot, left side. Here's Herrman back to throw. Excellent protection again now. In trouble. Rolling left, throwing. The pass is complete down at the 16-yard line. Bill Hubbard there covering on the play for UCLA as Raymond Smith out of Paris, Kentucky makes the reception. And it'll be a first down for the Boilermakers at the UCLA 16. UCLA's important Pac-10 conference opener is just 3 weeks away. On Saturday, October 6th, the Bruins travel to Palo Alto to open the league schedule against the exciting Stanford Cardinals. Be a part of the action by joining the Bruins in the Bay Area. Tickets in a special UCLA section are on sale now at the UCLA Central Ticket Office. Fake. Herrman back to throw. Now hit and brought down. He is sacked back at the 26-yard line as Brad Clemens, number 99, the junior from Auburn, Washington, making the tackle on the play, along with Mark Tuine.
Of course, all coaches say the best defense against the pass is a great pass rush. UCLA dogs a few of their linebackers. Ike Gordon getting in, Brad Clemens. They sandwich him right here, and there's nowhere for Mark Herrman to go, although he's avoided the rush extremely well. They say that he's not that mobile, but he seems to get around extremely well.
You see Tuine in on the tackle along with Clemens. Herrman 6 for 10 for 60 yards in the ball game. Herrman back to throw again. Looking now under a rush. Throws the pass complete to Smith. He's hit and brought down at the 4-yard line. Raymond Smith, the split end, makes the reception. It'll be first and goal for Purdue. Brian Baggett, number 8, out of Servite High School in Fullerton, made the tackle on the play. Good for 23 yards.
It's a great pass pattern, a delay pattern with your split end coming over the middle. Brian Baggett has him one-on-one, almost an impossible task for a cornerback. He's just got to chase him, and great pass by Herrman here. He just lays it, leads him perfectly. Smith's able to pick up the reception, and Brian Baggett does a great job to keep him out of the end zone.
First and goal from the 4-yard line. Herrman takes and gives to Jones. Dives over the middle of the line, stacks up at about the 3-yard line. Scott Stoke and Brian Baggett in on the tackle for the Bruins.
It's been a great drive so far for Purdue. They've come up with some big third down plays, and Mark Herrman, coming back after being sacked, came up with a great throw right there.
McCall comes in the lineup for Purdue. So McCall in the backfield. They line up in the I. It is 2nd and goal from the 2. The fake to Jones. Herrman turns the corner, is hit and brought down. Run out by Lupe Sanchez on the far side at the 2-yard line. And they took the sticks with him as Herrman is helped to his feet. Maybe lost a little on the play.
So, Steve, this is a great play. Lupe Sanchez is a freshman. He's a quarterback, great passing quarterback, probably one of the best in the country this year. He's taking a handoff up the middle and rolling out with it. UCLA watching their assignments. Lupe Sanchez out there. Arthur Akers get a lot of help, and they're able to keep the guy from getting in the end zone.
Jones and Augustiniak, the running back. Herrman rolling left, looking. The pass is complete. Touchdown, Purdue, as he found Harris. Mike Harris is flanker back open. Kenny Easley covering on the play for the Bruins. On this drive, Herrman converted 4 third-down plays, and one of them a big clutch play on 3rd and 13. Here it is again.
Well, this is the other part of knowing your assignments down on the goal line. They're faking the ball into the line. Herrman finds Mike Harris wide open outside here and just lays the ball in perfectly. The defensive backs have a dual responsibility down there. One, first to watch the run, then they've got to pick up their pass patterns.
Here's the try for point. The kick is up. The kick is good as Siebel boots the point. As Purdue goes 76 yards in 15 plays, there is timeout with 5:32 remaining in the half. The score, the UCLA Bruins 21, the Purdue Boilermakers Summit.
This is our big Honda, the Accord. Although it isn't really big in size, it's big in ideas. Imagine a car that's designed to remind you when to change oil, rotate tires, or when a door is ajar. Or a car that gives you a padded box for change. But just how do you make a big idea bigger? Simple. The new Accord 4-door. Now what's your excuse for not owning a Honda?
Honda, we make it simple.
Hey, did you know that B.F. Goodrich has the best-selling line of high-performance radios?
No.
Did you know they're the most dependable radios Goodrich ever made?
No.
Did you know the Goodrich blimp is taking our picture?
Yeah? Hey! Goodrich doesn't have a blimp!
That's right. We're the other guys. B.F. Goodrich, the leader in high-performance radios.
Steve Shannon and Rob Scribner back at the Coliseum. UCLA had 21 unanswered points. And now the Boilermakers of Purdue get on the board on Mark Herrman's 3-yard touchdown pass to Mike Harris. So we await the kickoff by the Boilermakers, as John Siebel, who converted the point after, will kick off. The Bruins send Cannon back deep along with Edgar.
I'm sure Jim Young is very pleased with the drive of the Purdue Boilermakers, moving the ball consistently down the field, able to pick up, like you said, Steve, those big third down plays.
So we're ready for the Boilermakers kickoff. 5:32 left in the half. Now Siebel putting the ball back up on the tee. Glenn Cannon the near side. Anthony Egger the far side. They're both around the 5-6 yard line. Siebel approaches the football. Here's the kick. It is a short kick. It'll be taken by Edgar at the 13, over the 15. The 20 tries to turn the corner, gets a block, then is hit and brought down at the 30-yard line by Tim Senef. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Bruins at the 30.
Great return here by Anthony Egger. Senef for Purdue is really the last man. He doesn't get hooked by the UCLA wedge, and he's able to come over and make the tackle, but Anthony Egger's got a lot of room down the sideline there, and he's extremely fast.
Quarles now takes over at quarterback. Bernard Quarles, the freshman from Jefferson High School in Los Angeles, quarterbacking his first play. He takes and sack up at the 30-yard line. Second unit in there for the Bruins. In many instances, they're going with the second unit on this hot night. Forge along with Eatman, Tautolo, Dufour in at center, Ball, and Quarles, the 6'1.5", 198-pound freshman, calling the signal. Davis is also in at a guard spot. Panorama, the fullback, in motion. Dubois near side. The handoff to the tailback. Edgar tries to turn the corner. No running room as he is necktied and brought down at the 28-yard line. Bill Kay made the defensive play, the right cornerback for the Boilermakers. The 1979 Honda Civic is not only simple to drive, but it's fun to drive. Drive one for yourself, and you'll see what I mean at your Honda dealer. So a loss of a yard on the play. It'll be third down, 11 yards to go for UCLA. 4 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in the half. The Bruins in front of the Boilermakers, 21-7. JoJo Townsend is wide to the far side. The near side, Michael Brandt. Quarles takes, rolls, is hit, and brought down. Excellent defensive play as the Boilermakers in there quickly, and Keena Turner, their right-handed 220-pound senior from Chicago, brings him down, and Matt McFarland will come in to punt as the Bruins give up the ball. Clock running. 3:52 left in the half. It'll be 4th and 14, and McFarland is standing back at his 11-yard line.
Purdue taking a lot of chances here on defense, coming with a lot of people as far as linebackers, defensive ends. Been very successful in stopping UCLA in 3 plays.
Tony Hill from Pasadena, number 1, and Speedy, number 18, are back deep. Here's the snap. McFarland gets the kick off. Not a deep kick, but a high hanging kick. A fair catch called for by Hill, and he takes it at the Boilermaker 35-yard line. A 39-yard punt. There is time out on the field with 3 minutes and 26 seconds left in the half. The score, the Bruins 21, the Boilermakers Summit.
When it comes to the finest and the lowest prices in the world, everybody comes to National Lumber. The answer to a do-it-yourselfer's dream.
National Lumber isn't all that great, folks, but we do have a lot of low prices.
What can match the rich look of real teak parquet floor tiles, now $159 a square foot at National Lumber?
Look in your white pages for the National Lumber nearest you.
Hey, the other commercials are stacking up.
It's the good stuff at the right price. National Lumber.
At Jack in the Box restaurants, the secret to the great taste of our new improved Jumbo Jack hamburger is the hamburger. Our new Jumbo Jack starts with one of the thickest, juiciest, 100% all-beef patties you've ever tasted.
The new lettuce is leafy, but the meat is so beefy.
The new sauce is creamy, but the meat is dreamy.
I love that new bun, but the meat's number 1.
The thick, juicy new Jumbo Jack. Try one at Jack in the Box.
Terry Donahue on the sideline. We've had a holding penalty against Purdue, which will move the ball back to the Boilermaker 20-yard line. Well, Rob, they were in pretty good field position at the 35. The penalty, a costly one.
It is a costly one, and, you know, tonight it's so hot, and both teams are going to have to use a lot of football players. UCLA came out there with their second offensive unit. I don't know what the situation so far has been with Purdue. It seems like they've gone with their first unit, and they're going to have to go with their first unit until they really can get back on top of the football game.
3:26 left in the half as Herrman takes, fakes, and back to throw. Now put under a rush. A wobbly pass intended for Harris. Ball up for grabs, and Harris makes the reception on the play down at the UCLA 46-yard line. He was covered by Dave Gomer, but still made the catch in heavy traffic at his 1st and 10 Purdue. A 34-yard pass play from Herrman to Harris. Purdue has been penalized 4 times for 55 yards in the ball game. The Bruins twice for 10 yards. But now the Boilermakers trailing 21-7, have the ball in Bruin territory at the 45-yard line. Herrman gives to Smith. Jimmy Smith off the right side is stacked up at the 41-yard line. Mark Ferguson, number 50, and Mike Barbie, number 89, the left tackle, bring him down for UCLA as Wally Jones comes back in, and Jimmy Smith, the ball carrier, coming out for Purdue. A gain of 3 on the last play. Second down, 7 yards to go. Mike Harris. Wide to the near side. The far side, Raymond Smith. Herrman back to throw. Herrman looking for Harris. Has him open at the 30. Hit and brought down at the 26-yard line. Kenny Easley and Brian Baggett are both there to make the hit for the Bruins. It'll be another first down for Purdue.
It's a great pass play between Herrman and Harris. Herman's just dropping back. Got Harris split out extremely wide. He's doing a little curl pattern on the corner in between the safety. Right in that space right there between Easley and Baggett, and is able to pick up some big yardage.
Ball at the 26 of the Bruins. March started at the Purdue 20-yard line. Herrman gives to Jones. Jones up the middle to the 20 before he's hit and brought down. Scott Stout is in on the hit for the Bruins along with Dave Gomer.
UCLA had Kenny Easley coming on a safety blitz, and they're able to run the different hole.
It is 2nd and 4 at Jack in the Box restaurants. They know the secret to a great hamburger is the hamburger. Their Jumbo Jack hamburger is thick and juicy. Try one today at your nearest Jack in the Box. Split backfield. Herrman takes back to throw. Has plenty of protection again as he rolls right. Can run the ball, will run the ball to the 15, and goes out of bounds at about the 9-yard line where he is hit down on the far side, and flags on the play. Herrman with all kinds of running room as Art Akers hit him on the play. Herrman with the wind knocked out of him now gets to his feet. Akers made the hit.
There's no doubt about that one, Steve. He definitely was out of bounds when UCLA came along and really lowered the boom on Mark Herrman. Brad Clemens, the defensive end for UCLA on the left side, lost his containment and opened it wide up for Mark Herrman to just kind of roll around the outside there. Clemens came really strong inside and just got tied up by the offensive line for Purdue, and that's what opened that big gain up.
He carried the ball down to the 9-yard line, a personal foul against the Bruins. And now there is timeout on the field with 1:37 left in the half. The Bruins 21, Purdue 7. Herrman over on the sideline talking with head coach Jim Young. 1:37 left in the half. Herrman carried the ball down to the 9. The penalty puts the ball at the 4.5-yard line. Half the distance to the goal.
UCLA substituting fairly freely on defense as well as offense. Purdue coming up with seemingly 2 great drives here. They need to get the ball into the end zone either or kick a field goal. Mark Herrman seems to be the key to this whole offense. He's thrown the ball extremely well. They mixed it in with a few runs, few draws. They definitely have a great offense. I think everybody knew that coming into the football game. UCLA very fortunate to get 21 points, taking advantage of all of their opportunities. And now Purdue coming back slowly into the game, just as any great football team would do.
So Herrman, who was shaken up on the last play, will now take over 1st and goal from the 4.5-yard line. Dufour and Eatman in on the goal line defense for the Bruins as Herrman brings his ball club out. Fakes, going to throw, looking, and complete the pass to Young, the tight end. Dave Young, the junior out of Akron, Ohio, 6'6", 235, was open by Lupe Sanchez, who was covering on the play. And the Boilermakers are right back in the ball game. It is 21-13. 4-yard touchdown pass from Herrman to his tight end, Dave Young.
Extremely difficult pattern to cover, Steve. They take both receivers on each side and run them across the field. Defensive backs that have a man-on-man down in that territory just have to be in a chase situation.
Burl to hole. Siebel to try the point after. The kick is up. It is good. Purdue marches 80 yards in 6 plays with 1:32 left in the half. It's UCLA 21, Purdue 14.
If Honda made a sports car, what would you expect it to be? Would it have blinding stoplight acceleration? Would it be low and wedge-shaped and have gull-wing doors? Ah, that's not Honda. Introducing the Honda Prelude. We like to think of it as a sports car for grown-ups. That's not to say the Prelude is sedate, but with front-wheel drive, rack and pinion steering, and a new advanced four-wheel independent suspension system, it's one of the most nimble Hondas we've ever made. And it's just full of wonderful innovations, like this moonroof, the sensible placement of the stereo radio, a unique speedometer, tachometer layout, all standard. The Honda Prelude. Once you get in, you just don't want to get out. And isn't that really what a sports car should be?
Honda, we make it simple.
Gotta go get him. Gotta go get him. If you ain't got him, gotta get up and get him. Only Goodrich got him. Great handling Goodrich TA radios. They'll trick up your truck, Chuck. Wear them on your van, Stan. Goodrich proved them on the track, Jack. Won the Baja race and beat the pack. Great handling, good-looking Goodrich TA radios. Get it on with Goodrich, #1 in high-performance radios.
See all the TA radios at Mark C. Bloom. You can't choose the right tire if you don't have a choice. Mark C. Bloom.
I use a Gillette Good News twin blade disposable razor.
I use a one-blade disposable.
Good News has 2 micro-smooth blades, 2. And 2 blades shave me closer and safer than any one-blade disposable.
This has 1 blade. 1. And 1 blade doesn't shave me as close and safe as his 2-blade Good News. I'll get Good News.
Gillette Good News shaves closer and safer than any one-blade disposable. Good News, the best disposable razor you can buy.
This is Channel 5, KTLA, Los Angeles.
1:32 remaining in the half from the Coliseum. Purdue has just scored an 80-yard march in 6 plays, and there's the man that directed it, Mark Herrman. As John Siebel will kick off from the near hash mark. Glenn Cannon back deep along with Anthony Egger. Cannon on the near side at the 6-yard line. Edgar the far side of the field. And the momentum was swung back to the Boilermakers, who've scored twice in succession. End never end kick will be taken by Cannon at the 9. He's at the 15, at the 20, looking for a block, and brought down at the 22-yard line on the play. Glenn Cannon back to the 22, where it'll be 1st and 10 for UCLA. Rick Bayshore comes back in to do the quarterbacking as Quarles was in for 1 series of downs, and the Bruins were unable to move the football. Michael Brandt, the near side. Ronnie Du Bois, far side, the wide receivers. DePauli and McNeil, the running backs. Handoff goes to Freeman McNeil, left side over the 25-yard line out to the 30. McNeil with a pickup of 8 yards in the play. Tim Reitman leading the blocking as Lauschen, the middle guard, makes the tackle for Purdue.
UCLA coming back to their strong side. Toa Sapali leading Freeman McNeil. Greg Christensen, as you said. Tim Reitman and Freeman McNeil a lot on his own, just carrying tacklers.
Now a minute left in the half. 2nd and 2 for the Bruins from the 30-yard line. Du Bois goes in motion, left side. Hand off to McNeil. He tries the left side again. Fighting for yardage, breaks off a tackler in heavy traffic, and still gets out to the 45-yard line before he is down on the play. Great effort on the part of Freeman McNeil before Tom Kingsbury, the left end, makes the tackle.
Steve, you're seeing a great running back tonight. Freeman McNeil is doing some tremendous running, breaking a lot of tackles. He's getting some great blocking. You'll see Brent Boyd getting up after making 1 block, coming over looking for another block. But Freeman McNeil, Michael Brandt, they're making a shield block on the cornerback, but Freeman McNeil doing most of it his own, using his blockers, making them look great. And an offensive lineman receiver love to see that running back always set up the block. And Freeman McNeil's doing a great job of that tonight.
Freeman McNeil has gained 105 yards and 11 carries, another 100-yard night for the 5'11", 205-pound junior out of Banning High School in Carson. Timeout has been taken with 47 seconds remaining in the half as Bayshore goes over to the sidelines. The score, the Bruins 21, the Boilermakers 14. So the Bruins have been able to move the football after taking over at their own 22-yard line. You have another 1st and 10. Not much time left and a long way to go, Rob, but the main thing was not giving up the football to the Boilermakers.
I think that's key, putting the Boilermakers back on the football field offensively with their 2-minute drive. You never can tell what would happen. UCLA has an opportunity now with good field position, maybe to go into their 2-minute offense.
Willie Curran to the near side. Brandt the far side. Papali the fullback. Bayshore rolling right. Bayshore's going to run the ball, turns the corner, goes out of bounds at the 50-yard line. Kevin Motz, left linebacker, runs him out. That stops the clock with 41 seconds left and the ball up at midfield. Place the ball at the 50. A gain of 4 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 6 yards to go for UCLA. Du Bois in and Brandt goes out at split end. Willie Curran is flanked to the left side. Edgar in there at the tailback position. Sapali the fullback. Edgar goes in motion. Bayshore rolling left, looking, has a man open and threw the ball behind him as he had Curran open down the sideline at the 25-yard line, but underthrew the ball. Tim Seneth covering for the Boilermakers.
Well, Steve, you call that a fade pattern or a sail pattern, and I think what Bayshore is trying to do is just get the ball in between a cornerback who's coming up to force on a run and a safety that's coming over and trying to cover the deep third of the field. And here Bayshore, I think, does a pretty good job. He gets it right in between the two defenders, and Willie Curran just maybe not looking quick enough for the football. I think if he was looking maybe just a 1/10 of a second sooner, he could have slowed up a little bit and maybe made the reception. That's something that comes with time in a year. And of course, UCLA being new at the passing game, I think that's something that can come.
3rd down, 6 yards to go. Ball at the 50-yard line. Long count by Bayshore, and now he calls a timeout. So there's timeout with 36 seconds remaining in the half, and the score, the Bruins 21, the Boilermakers 14. The Bruins scored the first 3 times they had the football, and Purdue's come back, scoring the last 2 times they've had the ball. Mark Herrman engineering an 80-yard drive the last time Purdue had possession. Next week, it'll be the University of Wisconsin at Camp Randall Stadium in Madison.
Sure, what happened that time is Bayshore came up and saw a defense that really didn't look that familiar to him, and in a 2-minute offense, they probably don't have that many checkoffs or audibles that they can go to. And so he, rather than just throwing the ball away with 3rd down and really a pretty good opportunity here, UCLA, Rick Bayshore takes a timeout and probably a very good timeout. Go over and confer with Terry Downey and come up with maybe a checkoff that they can use if they come back with that same front or even a different front.
McNeil comes back in the ball game. JoJo Townsend goes out with Ronnie Du Bois coming in, and Anthony Edgar is out. So it'll be Sapali at fullback. McNeil the tailback. Curran goes wide to the left side. And Du Bois tight on the right side. Reitman the tight end left. McNeil goes in motion. Bayshore back to throw, looking for McNeil, has him at the 50. Goes to the 45 and is brought down at the 41-yard line with 27 seconds remaining. McNeil has his jersey ripped off. Kevin Motz, the linebacker, makes the tackle for Purdue.
Well, Rick Bayshore does a real fine job here finding Freeman McNeil, but I think the best thing that UCLA can do tonight is give that ball to Freeman McNeil. Once again, Freeman getting control of the football right here. He's got 2 defenders on him. He's able to elude him and get his jersey ripped off of him, and that's one of those tearaway jerseys really help him pick up the 1st down for UCLA, but there seems to be a penalty.
There's a penalty, a holding penalty against the Bruins. And that will put the ball way back in Bruin territory at the 33-yard line. Brandt comes in, Du Bois out. There you see the referee, Charles Moffitt, giving it a signal. Neil Jarob's the umpire. The head linesman is Lee Joseph. Jack Roberts, the line judge. The field judge, William Richardson. And Bill Thayer's the back judge.
Turned out to be about a 30-yard penalty and cost UCLA 1st down.
The ball back at the 33-yard line. It is 3rd down, 23 yards to go. Clock running with 10 seconds left in the half. A pitch goes to Edgar. Anthony Edgar outside left, cuts back inside 40, and is tripped up at the 45-yard line with 1 second showing on the clock. And it was Mark Johansson who got him.
Well, UCLA basically just trying to run out the clock, not wanting Purdue to get another opportunity. Anthony Ager, he wants to score a touchdown. So he cuts up very quickly. Purdue not wanting to commit themselves, and unfortunately for Anthony Edgar, he just trips up. Purdue very happy that they didn't have to run down. Anthony Edgar was very quick afoot.
So 4th down, 8 yards to go.
Sure, in this situation, UCLA just wants to throw the ball up, get it as far downfield, hope for 2 things. 1, a reception touchdown, of course. 2, some sort of an interference penalty down around the 20 or 30 or even 10-yard line, come down and have a chance to kick the field goal.
Bruins leading 21-14, a second showing on the Coliseum scoreboard clock. Line of scrimmage, the Bruins 48-yard line.
Everybody deep.
Turn the near side. Brandt is over on the far side. Bayshore takes and goes back to throw, looking for Townsell, and it is incomplete down at the 5-yard line. He tried to hit JoJo Townsell, and that is the half. With the score, the UCLA Bruins 21, the Purdue Boilermakers 14.
To everybody who puts in a hard day's work, this Bud's for you.
This Bud's for you. There's no one else who does it quite the way you do. So here's to you. You know it isn't only what you say, it's what you do. This Bud's for you.
Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
Hey, this Bud's for you.
The Bruins come back on the field. Our halftime score, the Bruins leading the Purdue Boilermakers 21-14. Purdue with 11 first downs, the Bruins with 10. Yards rushing, 36 for Purdue, 141 for UCLA. Passing yardage, 143 for Purdue, 66 for the Bruins. And total offense, 179 yards for Purdue, 212 for UCLA. Mark Herrman, the outstanding quarterback for the Boilermakers, completed 9 of his last 9 passes to march Purdue for 2 touchdowns and get them right back in the ball game. So this is somewhat similar to last week when UCLA got out in a hurry to a 9-0 lead. They led 21-0. In the first 17 minutes of this ball game, to only have Purdue come back with 2 quick touchdowns. There's Herrman over on the sideline, and we'll be back with the second half kickoff after these messages.
I need a brake job.
Bloom does brakes.
Nah, Bloom sells tires.
Yeah, Bloom does brakes.
Bloom does brakes?
Mark C. Bloom. Yeah, Bloom does brakes.
I need a tune-up.
Bloom does tune-ups.
Nah, Bloom sells tires.
Yeah, Bloom does tune-ups.
Bloom does tune-ups?
Mark C. Bloom. Yeah, Bloom does tune-ups.
Goodrich, Michelin, Pirelli, Uniroyal, Dunlop, all at Mark C. Bloom. You can't choose the right tire if you don't have a choice.
When it comes to the finest and the lowest prices in the world, everybody comes to National Lumber, the answer to a do-it-yourself dream.
National Lumber isn't all that great, folks, but we do have a lot of low prices.
Push-button convenience and that secure feeling with a genuine Genie electric garage door opener from $89.88 at National Lumber.
Look in your white pages for the National Lumber nearest you.
Hey, the other commercials are stacking up.
It's the good stuff at the right price. National Lumber.
Steve Shannon with Rob Scribner from the Coliseum. We get ready to start the third quarter with Norm Johnson, number 49, to kick off for the Bruins, who are now defending the East goal. Back in the end zone, Jimmy Smith for Purdue. Wally Jones is also back deep, along with Jordan. And Johnson kicks the football. He hasn't given him a chance to run back one yet, but Smith takes this one 4 yards deep in the end zone, up the sideline, the 5, the 10, the 15, over a blocker to the 25-yard line before he's hit and brought down on the play.
Johnson
Hall made the stop for UCLA along with Johnson, the kicker.
Norm Johnson does a great job once again getting the ball very deep in the end zone. Jimmy Smith takes a chance, runs it back. What happens a lot of times in these kickoff coverages when they're deep or there's a fumble or something is that the return team overruns the kickoff. And a lot of times if it's broken, then you see the big, long kickoff returns, 104 yards or something of this nature.
Ball at the 27-yard line. Herrmann takes and gives to his fullback, John Macon, who stacked up quickly. Billy Don Jackson, the inside linebacker out of Sherman, Texas, makes the stop on him. So Macon, the 202-pound fullback, in there in place of Augustiniak, who was a starter. Gains only 2 yards in the play. It is second down, 8 yards to go. Mike Harris goes wide to the left, Raymond Smith to the right. Macon in there at running back, along with Jones, as Herrmann is back to throw, and the pass knocked down. Joe Gary, number 53 out of Los Angeles, Washington High School, made the block. And there's no doubt about it, Rob, they're going to have to put some pressure on Herrmann in this half.
No, it was a great rush. It looked to me like it was Martin Moss getting in there and just coming over him and making just a great play, got his arm up, and that's what it's going to take, a great pass rush by UCLA.
Split backs, third down and 8. Gives to Jones. Jones up the middle on the draw to the 40 and upended at the 40 line as Dave Gomer made the tackle for the Bruins. It'll be a 1st and 10 for Purdue.
Just a great call by Purdue. Jones is getting the ball on a draw play. UCLA's taking off for the end zone, probably looking for those wide receivers, linebackers looking for those curl patterns, trying to locate them, and they run a draw play, and the first man that's able to make the tackle is a safety.
Dave Young goes in motion. Herrmann back to throw, has protection, looking, complete to Burrow at the 39-yard line. With Hubbard making the tackle for the Bruins. Number 2, Phil Hubbard, brought him down as Bart Burrow makes the reception.
Purdue's extremely skilled here in their passing game. Herrmann's rolling to the right side, or just a little sprint out. UCLA's getting some pressure, but Herrmann comes back with a nice strike to his wide receiver. Is just running a simple out pattern to the backside. And that's got to be man-to-man coverage. When you run to one side and look back and throw, you got to have man-to-man.
Ball at the 39-yard line of UCLA. Young goes in motion. Herrmann back to throw, looking over the middle. Now the pass complete at the 29-yard line as he gets the ball to Raymond Smith. Hubbard runs him out.
This is a tremendous reception by Raymond Smith. You see him on the isolated here. Brad Clemens giving him a little touch-up. He's just running a simple out pattern. But what makes the play here is Raymond Smith and Mark Herrmann. They've run a lot together. You can see that he gets his foot down very quickly there. It is inbounds. We could see it from here. He has to get 1 foot in. It's a great play by Raymond Smith and Mark Herrmann.
Another first down. The Boilermakers on the march again. The ball at the UCLA 24-yard line. Herrmann ready to throw, and is hit and brought down as Scott Stout went back to get him.
Really, when you're talking about a great passer and great receivers like Herrmann and Smith and Harris and Young, all these guys, the only way to really stop these guys is on a safety blitz, something of this nature. Scott Stock coming in, and he gets a hold of Herrmann, does a great job of keeping hold of him here. This is a tough tackle. Scott comes in and does a great job. You're not going to stop a great passer time in and time out. You got to stop him on the big plays and then stop him for the series.
Big play with the junior Stock, and the ball at the 35-yard line. It is second down, 21 yards to go. Herrmann back to throw, looking. Pass is incomplete. Down at the 25-yard line, he tried to hit Jimmy Smith, his tailback, and Smith covered by Brian Baggett, the right cornerback for the Bruins. Akers and Jackson put the rush on for UCLA.
UCLA had a safety blitz. Kenny Easley coming. Key thing there is your running back, so they're going to be able to pick it up when you got a safety blitz. Kenny really didn't show it. He came good on the safety blitz, hid. Running back came up, was able to pick up Kenny, and this is the key thing. Purdue has run a lot of passes in their scrimmages, I'm sure, in training for these kinds of games, and they're doing a great job.
Third down, 21 yards to go. Herrmann has been big on third down conversions, gives to Macon, and Macon is hit and brought down on the play. Martin Moss, number 55, and Billy Don Jackson, number 88, there for the Bruins.
It was an interesting kind of draw play. Herrman had dropped back past his running back, Macon, and then came around in front of him and handed them the ball on the draw.
So it is 4th and 22, and Joe Linville's in to punt, standing back at his 49-yard line. He's the backup quarterback to Herrman. And Kenny Easley standing back at his 10-yard line for the Bruins. There's the snap from center. And Linville gets off a high kick as Easley comes running up. And the ball hits and is down in the end zone. Good try on the part of the Boilermakers. But it is down in the end zone as Robert Williams got downfield. There is timeout with 11:56 remaining in the third quarter, and the score, UCLA 21, Purdue 14.
This is
To everybody who puts in a hard day's work, this Bud's for you.
This Bud's for you. There's no one else who does it quite the way you do. So here's to you. You know it isn't only what you say, it's what you do. This Bud's for you. This Bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
Hey, this Bud's for you.
The Bruins come back on the field. Our halftime score, the Bruins leading the Purdue Boilermakers 21-14. Purdue with 11 first downs, the Bruins with 10. Yards rushing, 36 for Purdue, 141 for UCLA. Passing yardage, 143 for Purdue, 66 for the Bruins. And total offense, 179 yards for Purdue, 212 for UCLA. Mark Herrman, the outstanding quarterback for the Boilermakers, completed 9 of his last 9 passes to march Purdue for 2 touchdowns and get them right back in the ball game. So this is somewhat similar to last week when UCLA got out in a hurry to a 9-0 lead. They led 21-0. In the first 17 minutes of this ball game, they only have Purdue come back with 2 quick touchdowns. There's Herrman over on the sideline, and we'll be back with the second half kickoff after these messages.
I need a brake job.
Bloom does brakes.
Nah, Bloom sells tires.
Yeah, Bloom does brakes.
Bloom does brakes?
Mark C. Bloom. Yeah, Bloom does brakes.
I need a tune-up.
Bloom does tune-ups.
Nah, Bloom sells tires.
Yeah, Bloom does tune-ups.
Bloom does tune-ups?
Mark C. Bloom. Yeah, Bloom does tune-ups.
Goodrich, Michelin, Raleigh, Uniroyal, Dunlop, all at Mark C. Bloom. You can't choose the right tire if you don't have a choice.
When it comes to the finest and the lowest prices in the world, everybody comes to National Lumber. The answer to a do-it-yourself dream.
National Lumber isn't all that great, folks, but we do have a lot of low prices.
Push-button convenience and that secure feeling with a genuine Genie electric garage door opener from $89.88 at National Lumber.
Look in your white pages for the National Lumber nearest you.
Hey, the other commercials are stacking up.
It's the good stuff at the right price. National Lumber.
Steve Shannon with Rob Scribner from the Coliseum. We get ready to start the third quarter with Norm Johnson, number 49, to kick off for the Bruins, who are now defending the East goal. Back in the end zone, Jimmy Smith for Purdue. Wally Jones is also back deep, along with Jordan. And Johnson kicks the football. He hasn't given him a chance to run back one yet, but Smith takes this one 4 yards deep in the end zone, up the sideline, the 5, the 10, the 15, over a blocker to the 25-yard line before he's hit and brought down on the play. Hall made the stop for UCLA along with Johnson, the kicker.
Norm Johnson does a great job once again getting the ball very deep in the end zone. Jimmy Smith takes a chance, runs it back. What happens a lot of times in these kickoff coverages when they're deep or there's a fumble or something is that the return team overruns the kickoff. And a lot of times if it's broken, then you see the big, long kickoff returns, 104 yards or something of this nature.
Ball at the 27-yard line. Herrman takes and gives to his fullback, John Macon, who stacked up quickly. Billy Don Jackson, the inside linebacker out of Sherman, Texas, makes the stop on him. So Macon, the 202-pound fullback, in there in place of Augustiniak, who was a starter. Gains only 2 yards in the play. It is second down, 8 yards to go. Mike Harris goes wide to the left, Raymond Smith to the right. Macon in there at running back, along with Jones, as Herrman is back to throw, and the pass knocked down. Joe Gary, number 53 out of Los Angeles, Washington High School, made the block. And there's no doubt about it, Rob, they're going to have to put some pressure on Herrman in this half.
No, it was a great rush. It looked to me like it was Martin Moss getting in there and just coming over him and making just a great play, got his arm up, and that's what it's going to take, a great pass rush by UCLA.
Split backs, third down and 8. Give to Jones. Jones up the middle on the draw to the 40 and upended at the 40 line as Dave Gomer made the tackle for the Bruins. It'll be a 1st and 10 for Purdue.
Just a great call by Purdue. Jones is getting the ball on a draw play. UCLA's taking off for the end zone, probably looking for those wide receivers, linebackers looking for those curl patterns, trying to locate them, and they run a draw play, and the first man that's able to make the tackle is a safety.
Dave Young goes in motion. Herrman back to throw, has protection, looking, complete to Burrow at the 39-yard line. With Hubbard making the tackle for the Bruins. Number 2, Phil Hubbard, brought him down as Bart Burrow makes the reception.
Purdue's extremely skilled here in their passing game. Herrman's rolling to the right side, or just a little sprint out. UCLA's getting some pressure, but Herrman comes back with a nice strike to his wide receiver, is just running a simple out pattern to the back side. And that's got to be man-to-man coverage. When you run to one side and look back and throw, you got to have man-to-man.
Ball at the 39-yard line of UCLA. Young goes in motion. Herrman back to throw, looking over the middle. Now the pass complete at the 29-yard line as he gets the ball to Raymond Smith. Hubbard runs him out.
This is a tremendous reception by Raymond Smith. You see him on the isolated here. Brad Clemens giving him a little touch-up. He's just running a simple out pattern. But what makes the play here is Raymond Smith and Mark Herrman. They've run a lot together. You can see that he gets his foot down very quickly there. It is inbounds. We could see it from here. He has to get 1 foot in. It's a great play by Raymond Smith and Mark Herrman.
Another first down. The Boilermakers on the march again. The ball at the UCLA 24-yard line. Herrman ready to throw, and is hit and brought down as Scott Stout went back to get him.
Really, when you're talking about a great passer and great receivers like Herrman and Smith and Harris and Young, all these guys, the only way to really stop these guys is on a safety blitz, something of this nature. Scott Stock coming in, and he gets a hold of Herrman, does a great job of keeping hold of him here. This is a tough tackle. Scott comes in and does a great job. You're not going to stop a great passer time in and time out. You got to stop him on the big plays and then stop him for the series.
Big play with the junior Stout, and the ball at the 35-yard line. It is second down, 21 yards to go. Herrman back to throw, looking. Pass is incomplete. Down at the 25-yard line, he tried to hit Jimmy Smith, his tailback, and Smith covered by Brian Baggett, the right cornerback for the Bruins. Akers and Jackson put the rush on for UCLA.
UCLA had a safety blitz. Kenny Easley coming. Key thing there is your running back. So they're going to be able to pick it up when you got a safety blitz. Kenny really didn't show it. He came good on a safety blitz, hid. Running back came up, was able to pick up Kenny. And this is the key thing. Purdue has run a lot of passes in their scrimmages, I'm sure, in training for these kinds of games, and they're doing a great job.
Third down, 21 yards to go. Herrman has been big on third down conversions. Gives to Macon. And Macon is hit and brought down on the play. Martin Moss, number 55, and Billy Don Jackson, number 88, there for the Bruins.
It's an interesting kind of draw play. Herrman had dropped back past his running back, Macon, and then came around in front of him and handed them the ball on the draw.
So it is 4th and 22, and Joe Linville's into punt, standing back at his 49-yard line. He's the backup quarterback to Herrman. And Kenny Easley standing back at his 10-yard line for the Bruins. There's the snap from center. And Linville gets off a high kick as Easley comes running up. And the ball hits and is down in the end zone. Good try on the part of the Boilermakers. But it is down in the end zone as Robert Williams got downfield. There is timeout with 11:56 remaining in the third quarter, and the score, UCLA 21, Purdue 14.
This is our big Honda, the Accord. Although it isn't really big in size, it's big in ideas. Imagine a car that's designed to remind you when to change oil, rotate tires, or when a door is ajar. Or a car that gives you a padded box for change. But just how do you make a big idea bigger? Simple. The new Accord 4-door. Now what's your excuse for not owning a Honda?
Honda, we make it simple.
This Bud's for everybody who puts in a hard day's work.
This Bud's for you, for all you do. The king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you.
Steve Shannon and Rob Scribner back at the Coliseum. And Robert Williams came very close to downing that ball inside the 1-yard line, as we'll get another look at it here in a moment.
It's really typical on a punt or a kickoff or any type of play where you're trying to keep the ball in the end zone and down it. And I think Williams, he had a golden opportunity there. He doesn't really need to retain possession. All he had to do is throw it back out towards the field. Unfortunately, he dropped it into the end zone.
Bruins leading by a score of 21-14, and it is important that they maintain some ball control this time, as the defense toward the end of the half was out there exposed as Purdue continued to roll up big yardage. High formation, going in motion is Du Bois. Bayshore takes and gives to McNeil. Freeman backed up at the 21 or 22-yard line and make it the 22 before he is buried.
I'm sure what the Bruins and Terry Donahue would like to see is about 11-minute drive for a score.
Johansson and Marcus Jackson combine on the stop for the Boilermakers. Gain of 2. When it comes to personal grooming, most people come to Gillette, makers of the good news, the best disposable razor you can buy. In motion, the tight end Reitman. And back to pass. Bayshore looking long down the sideline, incomplete. He intended the pass over on the far side for Willie Curran, right in front of the UCLA bench. Tim Seneff, strong safety, covered for the Boilermakers. It'll be third down and 8 yards to go.
East they definitely had the opportunity there. It looked like Curran was open for a moment, and Stennett was waiting a little bit in his free safety position to get over there, and looked like a little bit lower, a little bit closer. Those kinds of things that we talked about during the season are going to get worked out, and those connections are going to be made.
Bayshore on a 3rd and 8. And we've got a flag on the play. The handoff going to McNeil. He's brought down at the 25-yard line. Looked like Keena Turner, the right end, was the man that jumped off for Purdue.
I don't think there's any question Purdue's Keena Turner. He's getting a little head start here and taking off before the ball's even snapped, and UCLA is going to pick up 5 yards and get another attempt at a 3rd down conversion.
So it'll be 3rd and 3 for the Bruins as Du Bois goes out, Curran back in.
I'd expect, wouldn't you, Steve, them running off the right side. They've been very, very consistent in picking up 2 to 3 yards running off their right side. See what happens here.
Safali, the fullback. Freeman McNeil has gained over 100 yards, and they're at the tailback position. Bayshore on 3rd and 3 from the 27, gives to McNeil. He tries the left side, gets over the 30 to the 31. It looks like a first down. Let's wait and see. It is a first down, as Larry Lee and Greg Christensen on the left side of the line, the left guard and left tackle, led the blocking. Kevin Mott made the tackle.
Here's Brent Boyd on Kevin Losh in the middle guard, and you can see Boyd just gets his head in front of him. That's a key thing as a center. You want to get your center of gravity, your head and everything going up the field, and he gets his head right in front of Lucian, and Lucian's over there in the play, but UCLA was able to pick up the first down. Otherwise, he's in there to make the play for a loss.
It is 1st and 10 for the Bruins at their own 31-yard line. Du Bois in motion, the pitch to Edgar. Anthony Edgar can't find running room, spins off one tackler, then is brought down at the 27-yard line. Wayne Smith had him in the backfield. And Sapali getting up slowly. And shaken up also in the play is Wayne Smith, the man who had his hands on Edgar but couldn't bring him down. Nonetheless, a loss. 10:25 left in the third period. We've got a clip on the play.
It's a replay pitching back to Anthony Edgar. There's really no place to go outside. For Anthony Edgar, there's just not a lot of blocks made on that play, and UCLA also picks up a clipping penalty, so it's a real big loss for UCLA.
So the clip puts the ball back at the Bruin 13-yard line. First down and 28 yards to go. UCLA scored the first 3 times it had the football, but the momentum has turned to Purdue.
I think watching some of the college football games early this year, this is, I guess, a patented situation for old Pepper Rogers. Second down, quick kick. Tommy Proto used to use that to success, too. The quarterback just drops back about 7 yards and boots the ball and hopefully get a great bounce and put the other team back on their 10-yard line. See what the Bruins do.
Ball at the 13. Clock running. 10-13. As Reitman goes in motion, and the handoff goes to Sapali. He is pushed way back. As in there was Laushin, the middle guard. Ken Laushin wrapped him up.
Purdue really getting close to the line of scrimmage now with our defensive players. You've got Wayne Smith up there getting in on a lot of the tackles. See Keena coming across very quickly. He's already in the backfield before the play even gets started. Their defensive players coming up very quickly now, knowing that UCLA is backed up. They're probably in a run situation, and that really puts the pressure on the UCLA offensive line.
So it is second down and 30 yards to go. Line of scrimmage to the 11. Handoff to Edgar. Edgar goes outside right, tries to turn the corner, is spun down by Wayne Smith on the far sideline, number 44, making the tackle at the 17-yard line. So it'll be a gain of 7, and third down and 23 yards to go.
It's a good gain for UCLA. Anthony Edgar, he breaks off the outside of the right, on the right side, and here's where a little experience will give him a few more yards. He's got somebody out in front of him blocking number 44, Wayne Smith for Purdue, and if he could just set that block up a little bit better, which he'll learn with experience at running back, he's upfield.
Third and 23. Townsend now into the wide receiver spot. JoJo to the left side. Bayshore gives to Edgar. Edgar over the 25 and is hit and stacked up there. Shoved back a pair of Purdue tacklers. Again, Wayne Smith on the play along with Mark Johansson. And the Bruins will have to give up the ball as Matt McFarland, the junior from La Miranda, comes in to do the punting. Ball at the Bruin 26-yard line. Speedy is back deep, along with Tony Hill. Hill number 1, Speedy number 18. Snap, McFarland gets the punt off. High, beautiful punt. He drives Hill back to the 26. He's at the 30. Gets a block. 35, hit and brought down at the 37-yard line. A pair of Bruin tacklers there. The punt good for 48 yards, and the return of 12. John Gibbs, the strong safety, makes the tackle.
There's another big kick by Matt McFarland, 48-yard punt, and he's done a tremendous job for UCLA. Tony Hill here making some good cuts. It almost looks like 44 there. Gets the back of a UCLA player, but they pick up some good yardage on the return. Here's a key series of downs for UCLA defense.
Augustiniak in there. The handoff goes to Smith off the left side. Hit and brought down at the 40-yard line. A pickup of 2, maybe 3 on the play. Martin Moss, number 55, out of San Diego Lincoln High School, makes the tackle for the Bruins.
Martin Moss showing some tremendous mobility, getting out of his tackle position over there to make the tackle on the running back, Jimmy Smith. Jimmy Smith shows a lot of speed. He looks like he's going to be a great football player for Purdue.
Smith comes out of the lineup. Wally Jones is in. The wide receivers are Raymond Smith to the left and Mike Harris, the flanker, back to the right. In motion, Dave Young. Herrman back to throw. Mark looking under a rush. Wide open is Harris in UCLA territory. Run out of bounds at the 43-yard line by Phil Hubbard. Brad Clemens put the rush on for the Bruins.
You see, Purdue's just worked on their passing game so much. Herrman drops back before Mike Harris has even reached the point where he's going to stop and come back for the ball. He's let go of the ball. Mike Harris, he turns around. There's the ball sitting waiting for him. And Phil Hubbard, almost an impossible situation to cover a guy man on man. You don't even know when the ball's going to be thrown, and all of a sudden it's thrown. He's turned around. Receiver's got the ball in his hands.
Herrman now wearing number 7. He wore number 9 in the first half. Hand off goes to Augustiniak, and he has brought down Clemens on the tackle. Tuaney also covering on the play. Hey, if you like sports as much as I do, you know that Budweiser goes great with any sport. Whether you're a participant or a spectator, call on the king of beer.
Great play by Mark Tuaney, knifing in there and able to upend the running back. For a defensive tackle, that's a dream, getting in the backfield, being able to upend a running back before he gets to get the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10, ball at the Bruin 42, and Herrman back to throw, under pressure, puts it up. It is incomplete, almost intercepted. It was intended for Burrell, and diving for the ball, Billy Don Jackson, almost intercepted for the Bruin. It'll be 3rd down and 10 yards to go. Art Akers put the rush on for UCLA. 6:44 with the clock stopped here in the 3rd quarter. The Bruins leading the number 5 rated Boilermakers 21-14. Art Akers calling defensive signals. Mike Harris, the flanker back, out to the left, to the right. It's Raymond Smith. Augustiniak and Jones are the running backs. Herrman drops back. Can't find anybody. Now looks. Pass is broken up. Covering on the play, Hubbard, as it was intended for Raymond Smith. 4th down and 10 yards to go.
Great protection.
Martin Moss hit Herrman after he released the ball, or as he was releasing it, and Purdue has to give up the football. It is 4th down and 10 yards to go. Linville in to do the punting.
That was close. Martin Moss putting a lot of pressure on Herrman. That's what the UCLA Bruins need, though. Put pressure on the quarterback. Make him throw those wild passes.
Linville standing at the 42, easily back for the Bruins. Linville's kick high, and easily calls for the fair catch. The ball drops and rolls in the end zone. And the Bruins will take over at their own 20. There's 6:29 remaining in the 3rd quarter. UCLA 21, Purdue 14.
It's the good stuff at the right price.
What do you think?
Disco Schmishko, where's the special?
Reduce friction and get up to 23 extra miles per tank of gas with Arco Graphite 1040 motor oil. Only 79 cents a quart at National Lumber.
Good stuff at the right price. National Lumber.
Come on, honey, yeah? Don't move me. Hey!
Say, babe, did you know B.F. Goodrich has the best-selling line of high-performance radios?
No kidding.
You know they're the most dependable radios Goodrich ever made?
No kidding.
You know the Goodrich blimp is over the stadium?
No kidding. Oh, get out! Goodrich doesn't have a blimp.
No kidding. Where are the other guys? B.F. Goodrich, the leader in high-performance radios.
Bruins put the ball in play from the 20-yard line. 6:29 remaining in the 3rd period. Rick Bayshore. Gibbs fakes to McNeil, now rolling right. Pass is incomplete. He tried to hit Reitman, his tight end. Pass incomplete. Covering was Wayne Smith, the left cornerback out of Chicago, Illinois. So it'll be 2nd and 10 for UCLA.
I got pass showed just a little bit of indecision on Rick's part. He knew he had about 5 yards that he could pick up real easy. Saw Tim Reitman down there, was open, and that's a hard thing for a quarterback. You either take it down and run it, make a decision, or throw the ball, make that decision. I think maybe Rick might have been just a little bit in question there, and that caused the pass to go a little bit low to Tim.
Reitman, the tight end, to the left. JoJo Townsend to the right with Ronnie DuBois out to the left. DuBois in motion. 2nd and 10. The handoff goes to Sapali, opening over the middle, cuts back over the 30 to the 36-yard line. Brent Boyd led the blocking, and Wayne Smith, the left cornerback, on the tackle for Purdue.
Well, you got to feel good for Toya Sapali. If you're a UCLA fan, he hasn't had a chance much to run the ball today. He gets some real good blocks. You can see Larry Lee there making a great block. Tim Reitman coming across behind Toya, but here he is able to pick up some good yardage, and it's always fun for a blocker to be able to run with it.
And a big gain up to the 36-yard line where it's 1st and 10 for the Bruins. And Rick Bayshore now tries to avoid a tackler, will run, cuts back to the 40, over the 40 to the 42-yard line before he's brought down on the play.
It's a real smart run by Rick Bayshore. He's rolling out, and he gets some real quick pressure from the right side. Toya puts a little bit of a block on him there. He cuts up inside. He's able to get out of the hands of Tom Kingsbury. He makes a real good use of Freeman McNeil right here as a shield. He's able to pick up some extra yardage there and then gets down on the ground.
And Mark Johansson seals him. A gain of 6. It is 3rd down and 4 yards to go. DuBois in motion to the right side. Hand off to Sapali up the middle, and he's over the 45 to the 46-yard line, very close to the 1st down. It was 3rd down and 4 yards to go. And we will have a measurement with the ball just over the 45-yard line. So they bring the chains out. 5:07 left in the 3rd quarter. The Bruins leading 21-14. It is a 1st down for UCLA.
It's kind of a gutsy call on 3rd and 4 to 5. Send your fullback on a belly series up the middle.
Now Willie Curran back in. Ronnie DuBois goes out. JoJo Townsend to the left. Curran to the right. Sapali and McNeil, the running backs. Reitman goes over to the left side, the tight end, and Bayshore wants the timeout. So there's timeout taken again. Didn't have the formation set up correctly, or he saw something he didn't like, and there's 4:44 left in the 3rd quarter. The score, the UCLA Bruins 21, the Purdue Boilermakers 14.
Jack in the Box restaurants, the secret to the great taste of our new improved Jumbo Jack hamburger is the hamburger. Our new Jumbo Jack starts with one of the thickest, juiciest, 100% all beef patties you've ever tasted.
The new lettuce is leafy, but the meat is so beefy.
The new sauce is creamy, but the meat is dreamy.
I love that new bun, but the meat's #1.
The thick, juicy new Jumbo Jack. Try one at Jack in the Box.
This bud's for every man who works with fire and steel.
This bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do, this bud's for you.
Ah, you sold out of my Gillette Track 2 blades again. Never happened when I ran the store.
These other twin blades will do.
Hogswoggle. Gillette Track 2's micro-smooth blades shave me better.
But these will fit your Track 2 handle.
Handle schmandle. Gillette Track 2 shaves safer, smoother, and comfortable.
But, Pa...
Guess I buy my Track 2 blades someplace else.
To guys who use Gillette Track 2, no other blade will do.
Don't miss it. It's California's first 200-mile Great American Big Rig Truck Race, Sunday, September 23rd at the action-packed Ontario Motor Speedway. Qualifying starts Thursday, September 20th. Then on Saturday, September 22nd, it's Sears Day at the races for qualifying finals, a great live country music show, plus the Big Rig Truck Drags. It's fun. It's exciting. It's California's first 200-mile Great American Big Rig Truck Race, Sunday, September 23rd at Ontario. Tickets available at Ticketron at your nearest Sears store now.
Bruins ball at their own 46-yard line. Bayshore Flags all over the place. Gives to McNeil. McNeil inside the 45, and then taken down by a couple of Purdue tacklers at the Boilermaker 41-yard line.
This is what it takes to be a lineman for Purdue. Keena Turner here. He's coming off the block of Tim Reitman. He's really following the play. Reitman gives him a little brush block here. He's running over a few players. Brent Boyd stands up as Keena Turner tries to run over him and gives him a forearm to the right left knee. And I'll tell you something, you get up there in the sky sometimes. Keena Turner is a great football player for Purdue.
Penalty against the Boilermakers declined. They were offside. And the ball will be 1st and 10 for the Bruins at the Purdue 41-yard line. And goes back to Townsville around end play. Townsville breaking down the sideline inside the 30. Takes the tackler to the 20. JoJo to the 10 before he is brought down. An end around play that for 31 yards. John Totolo led the blocking, the Long Beach Millikan guard. Pulled on the play.
Great call by Terry Donahue. Donahue comes up with the unquestionable great call of the game. Townsville on an end around reverse play. Townsville does an excellent job of following his blockers. Larry Lee there giving him a great shield block. Look at these guys running down the field in front of him. Kurt Maul really turning it on. This is great play by UCLA offensive linemen who've done a great job all night. Great run by JoJo Townsville.
Calvin Clark finally brought him down. It is 1st and goal from the 10. The boys goes in motion. Bayshore on a long count. Hands to his tailback, McNeil, and McNeil fights his way down to about the 7-yard line. A gain of 3 on the play. Turner along with Seneff on the tackle for Purdue. When it comes to personal grooming, most people come to Gillette, makers of the good news, the best disposable razor that you can buy.
It's a big series for Purdue. I think it's very important that Purdue defense really get pumped up right here. They've been on the field a long time in the first half. They could be getting a little bit tired. They used them a lot in the first half. Right here, UCLA putting a real punch to them. This is important for Purdue right now.
And just as big for UCLA to take it in. 2nd and goal from the 7-yard line. Bayshore rolling, going to throw. The pass is incomplete. Bruins wanting pass interference. It was intended for Willie Kern. Wayne Smith covered on the play. Curran on his knees was appealing to the official.
You got to look at two things there. Looks like Bayshore let go of the ball before the receiver had made his cut, which is important. That's what the quarterback has to do. Key situation here. Willie Kern maybe slip down and fall. You're going to have that happen. Willie hasn't been around that long. This is his first year as a starter. He's played great for UCLA in the first 2 games. Slipped down and fell in the end zone. Probably a little moist down there on the turf. That's just a tough break for the UCLA receivers.
Big play coming up. 3rd and goal from the 7. Bayshore drops back under a rush. Rolling right. Looking. Pass is incomplete. He tried to hit JoJo Townsville down in the right corner of the end zone. So the field goal unit will come on. And Burmeister will attempt the field goal. Ball at the far hash mark. Brandt to hold. The ball will be spotted at the 14-yard line. Vic Meyer in to do the centering. It'll be a 24-yard field goal attempt. Ball down. The kick by Burmeister is up. The kick is good. The Bruins are first on the board in this, the second half. And the score with 2 minutes and 55 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. UCLA 24, Purdue 14. So the Bruins get a field goal from Peter Burmeister, a 24-yard field goal, his 4th field goal of the year. In first downs, Purdue with 15. The Bruins with 14. The Bruin drive and the field goal, 80 yards in 10 plays. And that was sorely needed, Rob, to stop the Boilermaker momentum that they built up in the second half. But we were talking at halftime, and we felt it would take 7 or more if the Bruins were to win the game, the way the Boilermaker offense has been so explosive. And 3 helps, but it's not probably the answer.
Sure, that's right, Stephen. I think that it was important that Terry Donahue made a great call with that reverse. They were able to pick up some momentum on that. And pick up that field goal, and I think it has helped UCLA a lot.
Low kick taken at the goal line by Jimmy Smith to the 10, to the 15, is hit Phil Hubbard. Two other UCLA tacklers there to bring him down at the 18-yard line. Thomas also covering on the play for the Bruins.
That shows you what momentum will do. Your special teams, I think, are the teams that you see momentum. It's so vivid. They come down, they go crazy. Last time, Jimmy Smith was able to bring it back to the 30. This time, UCLA was down there with some great coverage, and you saw about 5 or 6 UCLA helmets to stop them. This is important right here for Purdue to put together a good drive.
Augustiniak, the running back, along with Smith. Smith takes the handoff left side. Clemens hits and brings him down at the 15-yard line. Big play by Brad Clemens.
Linebacker really blitzing through there. Brad Clemens and Arthur Akers to really make a great play. UCLA has really done a fine job containing Purdue's running attack. They haven't really done much as far as stopping the passing attack consistently, but the running attack has been excellent.
Loss of 2 at his second down, 12 yards to go. Rob Herrman takes back to throw. Herrman looking left side, pass incomplete. He tried to hit Dave Young, his tight end. And Ike Gordon, the outside linebacker, was covering for the Bruins. Pass incomplete. It'll be third down and 12 yards to go. 2:06 left in the third quarter.
There's no doubt about it. Mark Herrman just not on track yet in the second half. Pass was behind Young. In the first half, we didn't see him throw too many passes that were off the mark. A couple he laid up that were intercepted. A couple bounced around. But that pass was just thrown behind the receiver.
Burrow and Smith, the wide receivers, on a 3rd and 12. Young goes in motion to the right. Herrman fakes back at his 6-yard line, throws. It is intercepted. Picked off at the 30, back to the 25. Sanchez to the far sideline. Lupe Sanchez takes it inside the 15 before he is run out of bounds. A big interception for the Bruins. A 15-yard return by Sanchez. It was intended for Bart Burrow, the split end. That is the 3rd time that UCLA has intercepted Herrman.
You know, Steve, we've heard Terry Donahue talk a lot about this freshman. Remember, Lupe Sanchez, he's a freshman from Fresno, comes in and did a great job. It's a big break for UCLA, and hopefully we'll get to see it in the replay. But here comes UCLA offensively.
So the Bruins with the ball at the UCLA. We're at the Purdue 15-yard line. Du Bois goes in motion. Bayshore takes and gives to Sapali. Cracks inside the 15, a gain of maybe a yard or 2. The tackle made by Kevin Motz, the outside linebacker.
Bruin down. It looks like a shoe came untied. Louis Sharp.
Louis Sharp comes back to the huddle. The ball spotted at the 14-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 9 yards to go. Sharp now goes out, and Irv Eatman out of Dayton, Ohio, is 6'7", 253-pound freshman, replaces him at right tackle. Bayshore pitches to McNeil, tries to turn the corner, and fights his way down to the 12-yard line, maybe the 11, before Tom Kingsbury, the left end, and Kevin Motz combine on the tackle for Purdue.
Kingsbury and Motz do a great job for Purdue. They really stuff up the hole, and Freeman McNeil is given no running room. UCLA really, I'm sure, offensively, their line is all pumped up in there. I really want to see them get into the end zone. Here's Michael Brandt trying to come down and make a block. He's running a little out pattern almost, and then he's going to try to make a block on the defense, and they don't like to do that.
Wayne Smith says hello to it. Another big 3rd and 7 play. The ball at the 11-yard line. Bayshore back to throw. Out to McNeil, and he falls down as he leaped high to make the catch. Gets right back to about the 11, the line of scrimmage.
You know, Freeman McNeil is definitely the guy you want to get the ball to. This is a tough pass for the quarterback. He's got Kingsbury coming from the backside. He's got to get rid of the ball quick. Freeman McNeil has to go way high to catch the football. Of course, he's down as soon as his knee hits the ground, but the ball being a little bit lower, giving Freeman a little bit of chance to run with it, and never can tell. One time he had that opportunity in the first half, was able to pick up a first down. So the key thing, though, is getting it to Freeman. I'm sure Terry feels that way tonight.
Bruins, Burmeister in to try a field goal attempt with 47 seconds left in the third quarter. The Bruins leading 24-14. Mott over on the sideline. Got an outstanding defensive game for Purdue.
I think the key thing for Purdue at this point is getting Mark Herrman in there and getting him untracked. As soon as he does, it's only a question of time how many touchdowns they can put up on the board. They're so explosive. I don't think that I've seen a college quarterback command so much authority on the field. He sets up just like you'd like a Bartowski or one of the great pro quarterbacks to set up and just throw the football.
Make plans to celebrate UCLA's homecoming 79 on Friday, October 19th. The festivities kick off at a noon rally on the Bruin campus. Friday night, it's the annual homecoming parade through Westwood Village. The festivities conclude Saturday night at 7 o'clock when the Bruins face the California Golden Bears in the Coliseum. Tickets for the game are still available, so dial UCLA 101 for information. Bruins called the timeout because they only had 10 men on the field. Now Brandt to hold. The ball will be placed at the 20. It'll be a 30-yard field goal. Burmeister kicked a 24-yard field goal the last time the Bruins had the ball. Ball down. The kick is up, and the kick is wide to the left. So the field goal attempt fails, and there is timeout with 44 seconds left in the third quarter. And the score, UCLA 24, Purdue 14. So the first field goal attempt missed by Burmeister, who was 4 for his first 4, 3 last week against Houston, and 1 in the third quarter of this game. The Boilermakers take over, trailing by 10.
We talked about in the first half UCLA taking advantage of their opportunities. I think it's a key point to look at here. UCLA not taking advantage of their opportunity to get some points on the scoreboard on the interception by Lupe Sanchez. And now they put the pressure right back on their defense, and we'll see how they're able to respond to that type of pressure. It's almost a momentum shift. You know, when they do miss that field goal, UCLA defense has got to come back in there and really lift themselves up at this point.
Burrell and Harris, the wide receivers. Burrell near side, Harris far side. Young now goes in motion left, and the handoff goes to Wally Jones. Jones takes it out to the 24-yard line before Martin Moss, the 225-pound sophomore right tackle, brings him down for the Bruins.
You got to be impressed with Martin Moss for UCLA. Here at Purdue, they've done extremely well on the first down draw. Once again, coming with the draw to Wally Jones. Martin Moss dissecting it very quickly around the center and is able to make the play. I think the ball is a little bit mishandled there, too. Looked like a possibility for another turnover. A little sloppy handling.
It is second down, 6 yards to go. Ball at the 24. Herrman back to throw at the 15-yard line under pressure and is hit and brought down. 2 Bruins are there. Carl Morgan and Duaney bring him down.
Real big play for UCLA defense. Mark Tuanay breaking through very quickly to get on Mark Herrman, and you can see Tuanay. We've got him almost isolated here. Well, we lose him in our cameras, but Tuanay coming through, making the big play. UCLA looking very strong defensively at this point in the second half. Almost looked like Herrman's limping a little bit as he moves down the field here. I think UCLA might have got to him on that one real strong hit on the sideline.
That is the end of the third quarter. After 3 quarters of play, it's UCLA 24, Purdue 14. Back with the fourth quarter after these messages.
This is our big Honda, the Accord. Although it isn't really big in size, it's big in ideas. Imagine a car that's designed to remind you when to change oil, rotate tires, or when a door is ajar. Or a car that gives you a padded box for change. But just how do you make a big idea bigger? Simple. The new Accord 4-door. Now what's your excuse for not owning a Honda?
Honda, we make it simple.
I got the tip, partner.
I got the tip.
I got the tip. Arillo.
America's getting the tip. Smoking Tiparillo and not inhaling. It's a good tip.
They're tough.
It's getting pretty hairy in there. Well, if he knocks it down one more time, I'll let it come in.
They're thorough.
You're walking into suicide. Watch. He says he even smells another cop. He's going to waste a whole carload of kids.
And the best in the business.
I want that psycho nail. Fast.
Starsky and Hutch premieres this fall, followed by Happy Days Again.
Well, dear, you don't just make cookies. What do you think? They come in a roll and you just cut them off and put them in the oven?
Starts Monday, September 24th.
Boilermakers ball, fourth quarter, third down, 15 yards to go. Now they drop back in the shotgun. Here's the snap. Herrman hands inside to Augustiniak, and he is brought down at the 17-yard line. Passing situation. They tried to fool him with the run. It did not work as Brad Clemens and Billy Don Jackson combining the tackle for the Bruins. And Augustiniak is shaken up on the play.
Steve, what do you think? Here we got third down. We're going into the fourth quarter. Mark Herrman is limping down the field in the change of the quarters on the field. Augustiniak here limping off the field, but you know, maybe Herman's not feeling that good. Maybe Jim Jung's saying, hey, listen, this game isn't the most important game of the season. We've got to keep these guys alive. You know, UCLA's been breaking through defensively, and maybe they're slowing down a little bit.
He had Linville and both Gates warming up earlier on the sideline, and we thought maybe Herman would come out. Here's the snap. Linville to do the punting as easily as back deep. Kenny comes up, calls for the fair catch, and makes it in Purdue territory at the 44-yard line. So the Bruins will have excellent field position, a 27-yard punt, and UCLA takes over at the Purdue 44. 14:31 left in the ball game. It is UCLA 24, Purdue 14. Bruins with the ball. We're early in the fourth quarter.
Come on, Mark!
Townsville near side. As Bayshore hands to Freeman McNeil. McNeil can't find much running room. Got back to the line of scrimmage before Calvin Clark, number 94, the left tackle out of Atlanta, Georgia, brings him down. Jim Young pacing the sideline.
They call this a condition quarter, especially in the second game of the year. You find out which team is really in the best condition. And I'll tell you, a place where it really takes its toll is in the offense and defensive line. Those guys have been hitting each other all afternoon and all evening. Who's in the best condition is going to be very important in the outcome of this football game.
Sharp has limped off, and Irv Eatman's taken over at right tackle for UCLA. 13:54 left in the ball game, 2nd and 10. Bayshore back to throw. Rick with good protection. Look, swings the pass on out, and a quick hit is made on McNeil. McNeil hit and brought down by Keena Turner.
Keena Turner hanging very close to Freeman McNeil. Rick Bayshore dropping back to pass, and UCLA trying to open it up a little bit. He drops it off on a little swing pass to his halfback Freeman, and before Freeman even has a chance to look around, there's Keenan. And Keenan's playing a great game for Purdue. We've seen him do some extraordinary things and even almost leap over Brent Boyd standing up.
Third down and 9 yards to go. Bruins with the ball in Purdue territory. Bayshore back to throw again. Gets the block protection. Looking, the ball deflected up in the air, intercepted by the Boilermakers. Coming back with the ball, Billy Kay, and Kay is hit and brought down as Willie Curran over there along with Freeman McNeil. But an interception gives the ball right back to Purdue.
UCLA Rick Bayshore dropping back to pass. He's got very good protection here. He's setting up. He's taking a look at his receivers. You see the difference in a little bit there. We're looking at one side of the field. I say UCLA looking on one side of the field. The ball gets tipped. There's no control over that. Defense comes up with the ball, and UCLA, Purdue, everybody runs those tip drills, and usually the defense has got more players down there, and they're able to make the reception for an interception.
Gates has come in to do the quarterbacking. Gates takes, hands off to the tailback, Wally Jones. A flag in the play as Jones is brought down at around the 31-yard line. A pickup of 4 on the play. Don't forget, Bloom does service too. Brakes, alignments, shocks, and tune-ups for a first-class service that keeps your car in top shape. See the experts at Mark C. Bloom. Penalty against UCLA as they confer with Purdue.
Well, maybe our estimation was right. Mark Herrman is out of the game. Larry Gates in. Mark Herrman, though, is talking to the press box upstairs to his coaches, so I'm sure there's still probably an opportunity for him to come back in the football game. Maybe they're just trying to rest him a little bit and get him healthy.
Gates is 6'4", 180-pound freshman out of Moeller High in Cincinnati. Handoff goes to Augustiniak. Augustiniak doesn't find much running room against the middle of the Bruins line as Clemens is on the bottom of the stack. Also Art Akers.
Well, it's going to be a key test here for Purdue get the ball moving a little bit, move it down the field, and also for UCLA defense to try to stop them. Now that Mark Herrman's not in there, I'm sure they're going to put the ball upstairs, but they're going to be on the ground a little bit more.
Gain of 2 on the last play. It is 2nd and 3, and a handoff. Try the left side of the line, get the ball near the first down and around the 38-yard line as Wally Jones carried. Kenny Easley came up in the free safety spot along with the right tackle, Martin Moss, number 55, to make the stop. But it is a first down for the Boilermakers.
Mark Herrman's right there by Jim Young, standing right next to him. I think, you know, I'm ready.
First and 10 for Purdue with Raymond Smith the near side. Gates back to throw. Gates now scrambling, being pursued. Throws, pass complete to Harris over the 50 as he is hit and brought down in UCLA territory at about the 48-yard line. Sanchez makes the tackle.
Well, Mike Harris makes a great reception. I think the thing that allowed this play to formulate was Gates as it came out of the fake handoff. Brad Fleming slipped a little bit. Here's a good move by Gates getting around the corner roll-up. That's Lupe Sanchez there. Now that as he gets out of the grasp there of Brad Fleming, Gates is open downfield behind Lupe Sanchez, and that's how those situations occur. Scrambling, make play, and you need those big plays from a quarterback.
Ball in Bruin territory at the 48-yard line. Gates drops back. Quick out pattern. Complete to Harris inside the 35. Hit and brought down on the play by John Gibbs, the strong safety.
There's what you call a hitch pattern. Quarterback takes a 3-step drop, quickly gets it out to his wide receiver who's just turning around looking for the ball right between the linebacker and the corner. He makes a good move. Mike Harris is a great football player. Doesn't look like they lose much when Larry Gates comes in.
The ball at the 30-yard line. Gates, the freshman. Harris now has 6 receptions for 99 yards in the ball game. 10:50 left in the game. Bruins leading 24-14. Larry Gates back to throw. Gates under pressure. Avoids one tackler. Avoids another. Throws. It is incomplete. Down at the 17-yard line, Raymond Smith was the intended receiver. Kenny Easley went for the ball. But the pass goes incomplete.
That's just a case UCLA defensively had too many men break through. They had guys running on top of each other and nobody really able to get to the quarterback. Gates getting out of the grasp of everyone, sprinting out and almost getting the pass to Mike Harris. I think if I was Gates, I'd be thrown in his direction quite a bit also. He's a great football player.
Bart Burrow comes out. Harris comes back in. It is Smith to the left, Harris to the right. Dave Young goes in motion. Handoff in the backfield to Macon. Macon cuts inside the 20-yard line, is hit and brought down by Brian Baggett, the right cornerback.
It's that draw play that we looked at earlier in the game where the quarterback drops back behind the running back, reaches around, and gives the ball to the running back. In this case, Wally Jones, and Jones on the draw play, being able to pick up a first down, big yardage for Purdue. They, being UCLA, have not been able to really defend against that play. They stopped the draw play only once tonight.
Macon and Jones in the backfield. Gates back to throw. Easley blitzing, can't get to him, and the pass goes incomplete along the sideline. As covering on the play, Sanchez. Lupe got over there in a hurry. It was intended for Harris.
Well, this is a safety blitz. Kenny Easley coming extremely fast from the outside. Gates trying to set up, but all of a sudden, here's number 5, the All-American Kenny Easley. Just about gets a hold of him, doesn't. He unloads the ball, and this is what you want from a defensive standpoint. Lupe Sanchez has the ball right there, isn't able to come up with it. Another great play by the freshman.
10-12 left in the football game. It is second down and 10 yards to go for the Boilermakers at the UCLA 18-yard line. Here's Gates back to throw. Rush put on. Pass up the middle. It is complete to Smith. Raymond Smith makes the reception. And the tackle made by Kenny Easley at the 9-yard line.
Yeah, Steve, the one thing that a great receiver does is when the ball is in the air, he goes and gets it. He doesn't wait for it to come to him because everybody's going after the ball. And this is what Raymond does here. Raymond Smith comes back for the football in front of all defenders, is able to make the reception. That's the key thing. big play for Purdue.
You saw Akers putting pressure on. Macon comes out, and Augustiniak back in for Purdue. National Lumber, the stores with the good stuff at the right price. Pick up on National's TV specials. Your money's worth and then some. Look in the white pages for the National Lumber nearest you. Hand off. Man hit at the 7-yard line. They stack them up. Wally Jones, the ball carrier. Billy Don Jackson, number 88, on the tackle. And got help from Mike Gordon.
There's a lot of people in on this play. Purdue, this is really a conditioning situation. Boy, Billy Don Jackson comes over the whole pile like a flying eagle to put the stopper on Augustiniak.
But it is a first down for the Boilermakers. It'll be 1st and goal from the Bruins 7-yard line. Augustiniak in the backfield along with Jones. Go to the goal line defense. Here's Larry Gates rolling right. Passes, it is incomplete. Play broken up. They rule it incomplete in the end zone.
A lot of people had a chance with that ball.
Billy Don Jackson almost intercepted. Eatman and Dufour in there on the goal line defense for the Bruins.
You know, both teams got to be wearing a little bit out right now. This has been a long drive, and right now it's time for the offensive line to really tighten their thinking caps on. Nobody jumping off sides. Everybody picking up the proper man on a safety blitz. People running the right pattern. Very important offensively.
Smith to the left. Harris to the right. Pass goes back to Gates out of the shotgun. Larry Gates looking left, throwing wide open. Touchdown, Young. Dave Young, the 6'6" junior tight end from Akron, Ohio, takes the touchdown pass, his second of the night.
Big play for Purdue. Young wide open in the end zone. Somebody's either blown an assignment or, like I said, you get down there with, after a long drive like that, everybody's got to watch their assignments, and everybody's getting a little bit tired and hoping that the situation's going to turn out right for your team. And UCLA, a lot of young people in there. Purdue, a lot of veterans. They know their assignments. They know what they have to do. Young receiving the pass from Gates, touchdown.
John Siebel in to try for the point after. His kick is up and splits the uprights. There's timeout with 9 minutes left in the football game. It is UCLA 24, Purdue 21.
This is a Mark C. Bloom salesman. This is another tire store salesman. They both know tires, but there's one difference. The other salesman sells one brand of tire. The Bloom salesman sells Goodrich, Michelin, Pirelli, Uniroyal, Dunlop, and many others. If one brand isn't right for you, he'll tell you. He knows another one of his brands is. If the other salesman's one brand isn't right for you, do you think he'll tell you? You can't choose the right tire if you don't have a choice. Mark C. Bloom.
When it comes to the finest and the lowest prices in the world, everybody comes to National Lumber. The answer to a do-it-yourselfer's dream.
National Lumber isn't all that great, folks, but we do have a lot of low prices.
What can match the rich look of real teak parquet floor tiles, now $159 a square foot at National Lumber?
Look in your white pages for the National Lumber nearest you.
Hey, the other commercials are stacking up.
It's the good stuff at the right price. National Lumber.
Steve Shannon, Rob Sibner back at the Coliseum. Purdue marched 72 yards in 11 plays. Gates to Young for the touchdown pass. Dave Young had 2 touchdown receptions last week against Wisconsin, 2 more here tonight. The attendance of the Coliseum, 44,174.
Oh, Steve, they're keeping us on the edge of our seats.
The Boilermakers have come back to cut the lead to 3. Edgar and Cannon are back deep to receive as Siebel will kick off. 9 minutes left. And the Bruins need to sustain a drive here. Purdue with 20 first downs, 15 for UCLA. Purdue with 3 turnovers, the Bruins with 1. Bruins led at one time 21-0 as they scored in their first 3 possessions in the ball game. So 2 touchdowns engineered by Herrman, the All-American candidate, another by the freshman Larry Gates. End-over-end kick, and it is out of bounds down at the 5-yard line as Cannon took the ball in. Out of bounds at the 5 or 6. So the procedure penalty will move the ball back and will kick again.
It's an interesting call here. The ball is out of bounds as he receives it or juggles it and doesn't really get control of it. So really the ball, since Glenn didn't catch the ball, is not in play until he does receive it and take control of it. Although he did touch it in the field of play.
So the ball is put back at the Purdue 35-yard line. Siebel will kick again, and Edgar, Cannon come out to about the 15-yard line. Now they drop back to the 10.
Key thing there is that the ball, as it's passing through the air, breaks the plane and goes out of bounds.
Number 5 rated Boilermakers coming back after trailing 21-0. Bruins hanging on to a 24-21 lead. Siebel approaches the ball and the kick end over end. Glenn Cannon goes back and takes it at his 1-yard line to the 10, to the 15, gets by a blocker up to 25 before he's brought down and flags on the play. Tom Kingsbury, number 15, makes the tackle. So a flag on the play, and we've got a clip against the Bruins.
UCLA getting hurt a couple times so far in this half, and watching Glenn Cannon make a great run back. He really takes the ball and heads straight upfield. We'll see if we can see somebody clipping. Let's see anybody at this point. Probably was not right at the point of attack. Costly penalty for UCLA.
Louis Sharp back in the ball game. Injured Boilermaker over on the sideline, Thomas. Robert Thomas out of Washington High School in Los Angeles, shaken up in the last play. 8:55. Ball back at the Bruin 13-yard line where it is 1st and 10. Bayshore gives to Freeman McNeil. McNeil's left side over the 15, goes outside 20, turns the corner 25, run out of bounds over the 30-yard line by Wayne Smith. First down, UCLA.
Yeah, I think Jim Young for Purdue has got to wonder just a little bit. He's got his defense overshifted to the Purdue right side. That's the side that UCLA's running on. Freeman McNeil picks his holes very well. Tim Reitman makes a great block, and then Freeman McNeil uses his wide receiver, is able to pick up some great yardage utilizing all of his blocks.
20-yard gain by McNeil. Freeman's carried 18 times for 151 yards. Marcus Jackson out at tackle. Paul Hanna in for UCLA. 1st and 10. Ball at the Bruin 32. Bayshore gives to McNeil again, left side, and is brought down at the 37-yard line. Pick up of 5. Lauschen, the middle guard, makes the tackle. It is a gain of 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6. Clock running at the Coliseum, 8:22.
I think the best thing for UCLA at this point would be to put together a long drive and score a touchdown and eat up quite a bit of the clock.
That is for certain as Du Bois goes in motion. Pitch to McNeil right side. No running room. Tom Kingsbury, the left end, makes the tackle.
Take a good look at Kevin Mott, the All-American prospect for Purdue. He's recognized the play very quickly. There he goes underneath Tim Reitman, which is sometimes takes you right out of the play. But a great linebacker, Moss is he runs down the play. He's got great speed instincts, and that's what you got to guard against as a blocker, and you're trying to cut off pursuit.
Kingsbury was there first, joined quickly by Smith and Mott. It is 3rd down and 7 yards to go. Key play for the Bruins with 7:28 left in the football game. Bayshore goes back to throw. Rick with protection over the middle to Edgar. Over the 40-yard line. Brought down at the 43. He is close to the first down. Kingsbury again on the tackle. The left end, Tom Kingsbury, a 5'10", 202-pounder out of Chicago, along with Johansson.
That's a big first down for UCLA. Rick Bayshore to Anthony Edgar. Got to give Edgar a lot of credit here. Rick Bayshore dropping back, and somebody else that you should give credit to here is the offensive line, giving Bayshore good time. Here he sprints to his left, turns around, just drops off a little checkoff pass. Anthony Edgar makes a good reception right here, but he does more than just pick up the yardage that he was able to get. Here he avoids just about 3 tackles, able to pick up the first down.
Again, Ronnie DuBois goes in motion to the left side. The handoff to Edgar. Edgar tries to go off left tackle. Is brought down at about the 43-yard line. Maybe got a yard on the play to the 44.
That's a big first down for UCLA, and by the same token, Purdue needs to stop UCLA, get the ball back, and move the ball down the field. UCLA puts together a long drive, 3 or 4 more first downs, and it really makes it tough on Purdue.
We've seen the Boilermakers can strike quickly and from any place on the field. Bayshore, long count. Gives to the fullback. Sapali up the middle. Still running, hit and brought down at the 45-yard line. A 1st and 10 as he takes the ball in the Boilermaker territory. Brent Boyd, the center, leading the blocking.
Here you see Troy Sapali picks up a big first down. I was looking down there and I saw something. Keena Turner looks like he's cramping up in his right calf. And you know, this is the key thing. Here these guys are from out of state, and you look at the home field advantage. Here's Keena Turner. He recognizes pass, comes over, is able to make the tackle on Torres Sapali. It took so much, though, it caused him to have a cramp in his calf.
Sapali with 35 yards and 8 carries. Du Bois comes to the near side. The handoff to Edgar. Edgar trying to fight off a tackler, and then is brought down. Hit hard at the 42-yard line by Lauschen. Middle guard makes the stop, number 72.
There's no doubt about it. With each game, Anthony Edgar's getting a little bit better. At his point right here, he sets up his block perfectly. Torres Sapali makes a great block right there. Here, Anthony Edgar just holding behind his offensive lineman there, who makes a great block for him. That was Du Bois, the tight end. He tries to make a little bit too much out of the play, cuts back, but great running instincts from Anthony Edgar.
John Tautolo, the right guard, has been doing some outstanding blocking in the last 2 plays. Handoff goes to Sapali, hits one man and drives his way to the 35. He was almost stood up at the 37 and crashed for 2 more yards. Motz and Lauschen on the tackle for the Boilermakers.
You know, Steve, you got to gain a tremendous amount of respect for this Troy Sapali. He came, and you watch right here, the guy that he hits. Who is this? Number 58, Kevin Motz. And Kevin, as we've looked at many times, right there, look at him blow him backwards and just run right over him. That's a great run. And Sapali's not quite as big as Motz. Motz is a big football player. I think the big thing here is maybe the smog, a little bit of the conditioning. UCLA is putting together a pretty good drive right here.
3rd down and a yard to go. They go with a full house in the backfield. Bayshore on the quarterback sneak for the 3rd time tonight. Looks like he got it going straight ahead behind his center. It is the 1st down for the Bruins, their 2nd first down on the drive. 4:28 remaining in the ball game. The new Honda Accord sedan has 4 doors and a spacious trunk. Now they make a 4-door sedan, so you have no excuse not to buy a Honda. See it at your Honda dealers. Well, Sapali, as you mentioned, Rob's made a couple of big runs tonight. The 6'2", 216-pound sophomore out of Oxnard. Gaining ground along with McNeil, who's had a big night, 151 yards. Sapali on the handoff, and this time it fools nobody. A lot of defenders there, led by Keena Turner and Tom Kingsbury, but it was Turner that wrapped him up.
Sapali does have some size. He's 6'2", 216 pounds.
Less than 4 minutes to go in the ball game. Clock running, 3:50. 2nd down, 10 yards to go for the Bruins at the Purdue 34-yard line.
UCLA looks like they're running just about to the extent that they can on the in-between plays.
Willie Curran goes in motion to the right. Hand off to McNeil. McNeil off left tackle over the 30, 25, 20 to the 15, still running. Fumbles the football. Loose ball, battle for it. UCLA recovers. Kurt Moles came back and got the football. It is 1st down, UCLA inside the 15-yard line as they're still battling for that football. What a run by McNeil. They get an official's timeout. They are really stacked up. Kurt Moles, the left tackle, a 6'5", 257-pound junior from Sunnyvale, recovered the football.
We got a nice play to here on Kevin Mott. Just a big play by offensive line right here. You see Brent Boyd, Kevin Mott trying to get really caught up in it. Brent Boyd makes a good block on him. Freeman McNeil makes a great run. But you know the key to this game tonight has been the offensive line as far as UCLA is concerned. And here they are running down the field, chasing, and see if they can make a block. Here's Kurt Moll recovering the ball. And you know, that's the key to a great offensive running attack, is getting those linemen downfield to block. And they're doing that. They're down there to block and recover the fumbles. That's the key right there.
Calvin Clark, the man that caused the fumble, goes out. Hanna replaces him. Cannon in the backfield. Here's a handoff that goes to Cannon. Tipped and is brought down at about the 2-yard line. Driving his way for another first down at about the 2. Jackson and Mott's on the tackle.
Once again, UCLA offensive line opening up a hole, and here's the guy. Hasn't played much tonight, but has done a great job every time UCLA's asked him to come in the game. Glenn Cannon really makes a good cutback here, keeps the ball in the playing surface, and just about puts it into the end zone. UCLA offensive line can't give these guys enough credit. Larry Lee leads the blocking this time. Kurt Moll.
Got some good blocking in the backfield from Freeman McNeil. It is first and goal from the 2-yard line. Bayshore takes, gives to Sapali, dives straight ahead, and is stopped just short of the goal line. Kevin Mott stacks him up there. The ball will be inside the 1.
This is Steve, this is a great play. It looks like Sapali gets the ball initially, takes it out of his stomach, hands it to Anthony Edgar, and Edgar gets stuck really hard right at the ball. He loses control of the ball, regains his consciousness of the ball, grabs a hold of it. This could have easily been a fumble. Great play by Anthony Edgar. Good ball handling by Rick Bayshore.
The ball inside the 1-yard line. Full house in the backfield. And Bayshore with a quarterback sneak in for the touchdown. Bayshore scores to make it UCLA 30 and Purdue 21 with 1:57 left in the football game.
There's nothing better for an offensive lineman to have him just say, run the ball over my hole when you get down to the goal line. And here's Rick Bayshore following his left guard, Larry Lee, Brent Boyd in the end zone. Bayshore coming of age into the end zone for a touchdown. And UCLA, we talked about it. Before this drive even started, what's the best thing that could happen? They started where? Back on the 10-yard line. Long drive. What was the yardage on the drive?
88 yards in 14 plays, and they maintained possession of the ball for 7 minutes, 3 seconds. Burmeister, the kick is up and good. There's timeout with 1:57 left in the football game. The Bruins 31, Purdue 21.
Jack in the Box restaurants, the secret to the great taste of our new improved Jumbo Jack hamburger is the hamburger. Our new Jumbo Jack starts with one of the thickest, juiciest, 100% all-beef patties you've ever tasted.
The new lettuce is leafy, but the meat is so beefy.
The new sauce is creamy, but the meat is dreamy.
I love that new bun, but the meat's #1.
The thick, juicy new Jumbo Jack. Try one at Jack in the Box.
I got an invitation, but not in the mail. I grab my invitation every morning without fail. I'm shaving close and comfortable, on that you can bet, since I got an invitation from Gillette.
Now, for a limited time only, get the special edition Atra Invitation for less than $1.50. The same pivoting head and face-hugging action that made Atra Gillette's best shave
At a buy now price. Atra Invitation from Gillette.
A happy Terry Donahue on the sidelines as the Bruins with a 10-point lead with just less than 2 minutes to go. Tradition, spirit, enthusiasm. You get it all with UCLA Women's Athletic Season tickets for only $18 for 26 events. Call 825-9541 for information.
Well, Steve, they kept us on edge this whole game. Every time a team gets the ball, you figure they're going to move the ball down for a touchdown. I think Terry Donahue's got extremely pleased with his offensive performance tonight from Rick Bayshore, his running backs, offensive line. They've really done an outstanding job.
Norm Johnson to kick off. Jim Smith back in the end zone. The near side at the 5 is Wally Jones. From the far hash mark, Johnson's kickoff going deep in the end zone. It'll be taken 9 yards back. And Smith starts to walk the ball and then downs it midway in the end zone. Purdue will take over at the 20-yard line. So the Boilermakers go with Larry Gates, the freshman from Cincinnati, who engineered the last touchdown drive.
Hey, look at this Purdue team, and you know that they have all the qualities of being a tremendous team, and they're even going on to win a Big Ten, you know.
Gates out of the shotgun. Gates looking left, pass deflected. He intended to swing it on out for Wally Jones, his tailback. Mark Ferguson put a rush on, the nose guard for the Bruins. Gary Donahue finally smiling on the sidelines with 1:53 remaining in the football game, and his Bruins leading 31-21.
Well, you never can't tell. These two teams may meet again this year, or should I say next year.
Well, that would be quite a matchup, but it's been a great one tonight. To Gates. Gates hands inside to Jones. Jones brought down at the 23-yard line. A pickup of 7 on the play. Clock running with 1:42 left. Purdue does not bother to huddle. Time running out of them. They trail by 10 points. Back to Gates. Gates looking up the middle. Pass for Harris. Incomplete. He tried to hit Mike Harris, his flanker back, who cut up the middle from the right side. Art Akers, inside linebacker, covering on the play. Akers has had a big night defensively, number 39. He's been around the ball. Junior out of Lynn, Massachusetts.
Hey, you look back on this game, and, you know, UCLA had a lot of breaks early. They got 21 points in the first half, and I think conditioning had a lot to do with it here in the second half. I think Purdue had to do a lot in the first half just to get back in the game.
Now it is 4th and 7. Gates back to throw. Swings it on out to Jones. Jones over the 30, is down at the 31 by Scott Stoke. So Stoke makes the stop. It'll be a first down for the Boilermakers with 1:21 left in the ballgame. Larry Gates takes the snap, looking. Pass is incomplete. It was intended for John Macon, his fullback. It'll be second down and 10 yards to go. The clock is stopped with 1:14 remaining. The ball at the 32-yard line. Gates takes it on the first count. Back to throw, looking. It is incomplete, intended for the tight end, Dave Young. Up around the 38-yard line. Covering on the play was Dave Gomer for the Bruins.
This is a real late penalty. I guess the guy had a hard time getting it out of his pocket, but they're calling pass interference. Along with that, it almost looked like Kenny Easley had an interception on the play. Hit him in the face mask, but all for naught. Looks like we're going to have a pass interference penalty.
So that moves the ball into UCLA territory. Down at the 41-yard line.
There's really, for a team like this, plenty of time left in the football game.
A minute and 8 seconds. They have the ball at the Bruin 41 after the pass interference call. Stoke was very upset. Back to Gates. Gates looking right side, throwing long. It is broken up down at the 11-yard line, intended for Harris. 2 UCLA defenders there over on the far side. To break it up, Lupe Sanchez was there.
I took a couple of great athletes. This guy, Mike Harris, is just a super athlete. He's running a fly pattern. Lupe Sanchez has got him short right there in the seam, and here comes Kenny Easley. The ball's thrown a little bit short here. He slows up. Lupe just about has it. Now he's still looking for the ball. Takes both of them.
Gates back to throw. Incomplete, intended for Raymond Smith. As Stoke broke it up. Baggett also covering on the play. Penalty flag down at the 48-yard line.
I'll say this, UCLA defensive backfield's getting a real test this evening.
Holding against Purdue. 47 seconds remaining in the game. The Bruins lead 31-21. Smith goes back in the ball game. Jones comes out at the tailback position. Bruins take the penalty, which puts the ball back in Purdue territory at the 41-yard line.
still feel on the edge of your seat with this Purdue team. You never know what's going to happen.
Now the Boilermakers huddle up back at the 30-yard line. 47 seconds left. Bruins scored the first 21 points. Purdue rallied in the second quarter to come back with 14. The lone scoring in the third quarter, a field goal of 24 yards by Pete Bormeister for the Bruins. And both teams have scored touchdowns in this fourth period. As the Bruins marched 88 yards in 12 plays, with Bayshore taking it on a sneak from the 1-yard line. Gates, Larry, plenty of protection now. Is put under a rush, jumps the ball off as he is hit and brought down on the play. Mike Barbie, the freshman from Sacramento, made the tackle.
Barbie did a fine job running Gates down, let go of the ball in the neighborhood of a lot of people. I think UCLA wanted a grounding the ball, but definitely receivers were there for both sides, and it looked pretty legitimate to this observer.
So it just goes as an incomplete pass. Third down and 29 yards to go with 43 seconds remaining in the ball game. Gates with the snap, rolling right, looking. The pass is complete, but the hit made immediately at the 39-yard line as Macon made the reception. And a lot of UCLA defenders there. Sanchez made initial contact to bring Macon down. 31 seconds left in the football game as the Boilermakers take a timeout. And the Bruins are only 31 seconds away from upsetting the number 5 team in the nation, Purdue. Jim Young over on the sidelines, who directed the Boilermakers to a victory in the Peach Bowl last year over Georgia Tech. Boilermakers favorites in the Big Ten, along with Michigan, Michigan State, and Ohio State. Flags all over the place. We'll have a procedure penalty against the Boilermakers. The 4th and 31 situation for Purdue. Clock down to 29 seconds. Big contingent of around 10,000 fans here backing Purdue. Fourth down and 35 yards to go. Snap back to Gates. The freshman back to throw, looking long. The sideline for Harris. Broken up by Easley and intercepted along the sideline by Baggett. Brian Baggett with the interception after the deflection by Ken Easley.
This is Mike Harris coming down again, running a go pattern. And, you know, what I see here is just a great job by the defensive back coach, Gary Blackney. Look what happens here. Everybody's going after the ball. Once the ball's thrown in the air, sure, it's Kenny Easley's man. Kenny Easley does his job, but here's Brian Baggett. He's chasing after the ball, too, coming in for the reception. And they practice this at least 5, 10, 15 minutes every day, tip drill. And Brian Baggett coming up with an interception and really putting an end to a last-minute Purdue effort.
Bruins with the ball. 21 seconds left to 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. Bayshore just falls on the football as the clock is running down. 15 seconds. McNeil, leading rusher in the ball game. Freeman with his second straight 100-yard game. 21 carries for 175 yards. As they count it down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And UCLA is at set number 5, Purdue, by a score of 31-21, and a happy bunch of Bruins on the field as Terry Donahue comes across to shake the hand of Jim Young. Bayshore was 7 of 14 for 2 touchdowns and 73 yards in the ball game. Herrman was 14 of 24 for Purdue, 2 touchdowns. He had 3 interceptions, 188 yards. Gates, the freshman, 5 of 14 for 50 yards. A victory for the Bruins, who even their record at 1-1, and Purdue now falls to 1-1. Next week it'll be the University of Wisconsin from Camp Randall Stadium in Madison. A great UCLA win, Rob Scribner, and good working with you here at the Coliseum tonight.
Thank you very much, Steve. It was great to work with you, and I'll tell you, Being a former Bruin, it's always fun. You know, coming from UCLA, and you're seeing some of these young guys, Irv Eaton and Lupe Sanchez, the offensive line come along like they did tonight. And Freeman McNeil, I think, really coming to his own. A lot of confidence. It's exciting.
We'll be back with the wrap-up on the ball game after these messages. UCLA 21, Purdue 20. UCLA 31, Purdue 21, the final.
When it comes to the finest and the lowest prices in the world, everybody comes to National Lumber. The answer to a do-it-yourselfer's dream.
National Lumber isn't all that great, folks, but we do have a lot of low prices.
Push-button convenience and that secure feeling with a genuine Genie electric garage door opener from $89.88 at National Lumber.
Look in your white pages for the National Lumber nearest you.
Hey, the other commercials are stacking up.
It's the good stuff at the right price. National Lumber.
Would a sports car from Honda have blinding acceleration or gull-wing doors? Not Honda. We made a sports car for grown-ups. Introducing the Honda Prelude. With front-wheel drive and advanced four-wheel independent suspension, it's one of our most nimble Hondas. And it's full of those wonderful innovations you've come to expect from us. The Honda Prelude, a sports car for grown-ups.
Honda, we make it simple.
To every man who works with fire and steel, this Bud's for you.
This Bud's for you, for being on the job and working hard all day. So here's to you. You know it isn't only what you say, it's what you do. This Bud's for you.
Just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
Hey, this Bud's for you.
Steve Shannon back at the Coliseum. A big night for the Bruins as they upset number 5 ranked Purdue 31-21. A big night rushing 175 yards for tailback Freeman McNeil. The Bruins rushed for 316 yards, passed for 73, a total of 389 yards. For Purdue rushing 48 yards, their passing game 238 for a total of 286 yards. For the former Bruin back, Rob Scribner, a big night for you. You were happy to see your alma mater come through, and a lot of guys played very well for Terry Donahue tonight.
No doubt about it. I'm happy a lot for Terry Donahue and that offensive line. I think that beat a team like Purdue that throws the ball so much, you got to keep the ball on the ground. You got to eat up the time as they did in that last big drive. And you never can tell, like you were saying, Steve, they can score from anywhere.
Again, and the big drive was 88 yards, 12 plays with Bayshore taking it in from the 1-yard line. We look back, they got out to the big lead, a 21-0 lead. The game took several different turns. First, it was UCLA dominating the ball game. Then Purdue came back, proved they were worthy of the number 5 ranking, an explosive offensive team, scoring 2 unanswered touchdowns late in the second period.
No doubt about it. I think also we should give a little credit to, or a lot of credit, really, to UCLA defense. They stopped Purdue in the second half all but one time, and then, of course, they went out and scored the touchdown. But I think overall UCLA has got to be extremely happy right now. This is a turnaround in the program. They beat a number 5 team in the nation. They weren't hardly even ranked this year, and this has got to please all the coaching staff. The secondary played great. Offensive line, unbelievable, I think. Brent Boyd, Greg Christensen, Larry Lee, these guys, they were really powering them up in front.
Okay, so a big win for the Bruins as they even their record at 1-1. Purdue takes on Notre Dame next week, falls to 1-1. And next week it'll be the University of Wisconsin from Camp Randall Stadium in Madison. Dennis Mnuchin has been our statistician, spotting for UCLA, Mike Sondheimer, and spotting for Purdue tonight, Art Huffman. This is Steve Shannon for